evening.
I'm here for it.
You sound like a vampire every time you say that. Good evening.
Yes. Welcome to Iconic Productions. It Gets Worse. We don't have Devin. I was going to say, are there any announcements? We don't have Devin. He'll be back in a few weeks.
We don't have Beth. She'll be back in a few weeks.
We don't have Beth. Do we know when she's going to be back? Great.
No.
Lovely. And then
Yes.
Mary is leaving in a month, so hopefully she'll be able to stream in.
Mm-hmm.
Those are our announcements.
We're staying.
Hi.
We are here.
And he's staying.
You guys have nice, stable jobs. Lucky you.
When last we left our heroes, you managed to make your way to the top of the Temple of the Shadowed Mount, or, as the monk who greeted you called it, the crown of the high peak of the Death of 1,000 Blessings.
And I couldn't read my own handwriting on that.
Yep.
So I was just like, blah, blah, blah.
Having successfully navigated the path of two lies. You walked through the building that spans this part of the island, discovered that it's some sort of large library, but that the ground beneath it has cracked open down the middle. And judging by the sound of waves far down in the darkness below, that crack extends all the way down to the sea. You managed to get across, although Talia had to drop most of her money in order to avoid falling.
And all of her other stuff.
Well, that was just getting up to the top. Out the other side of the building, you discovered a large plateau dotted with small huts and a large temple of sorts crisscrossed by well-swept stone paths and decorated by small hedges and orchards in the open spaces in between. You rushed into the nearest hut to avoid freezing to death. You found several small cots, a sleeping monk, and a chamber pot. And while Talia chopped up one of the not the pot. Chopped up one of the cots. Yeah. Almanya added the book she stole from the library to the contents of the chamber pot and then cast burning hands onto it.
That's right.
Setting the roof on fire and scorching the scales on her face.
Yep.
You could have also just used prestidigitation to just start the fire, because that's something that prestidigitation does.
After you put out the roof.
See, I kind of feel bad about that, but it was so funny that I don't feel bad about it.
You stripped and warmed yourself around the chamber pot. After your clothes melted and dried out slightly, you ran to the temple building, chamber pot in tow,
yes.
And found that it was warm. You also found a number of monks huddled around their tea, practicing their breathing. You met Sister Cadmium, who instructed Vera to finish emptying the rest of the chamber pots, which Vera proceeded to do.
Kind of.
Technically. And invited the rest of the party to practice their breathing, after telling you that your ship had left you behind. For some reason as yet unknown to you.
Little jerks.
The party followed her instructions, although Vera emptied the chamber pots behind each hut instead of over the side of the cliff. But
I'm old. I forgot.
And then she snooped. And in the course of her snooping, she discovered the path of many deaths and descended into the island into a cavern that was clearly some sort of brewery where a blind ex-pirate brews beer out of mushrooms grown on corpses.
Yep.
You found a chamber where the sea casts wildlife and corpses and wreckage onto the floor of the underground cavern, in which you narrowly managed to avoid dying to a weird eel-like creature that could mimic voices.
Yep.
And a chamber where said wildlife is collected into heaps, decomposed, and used to grow mushrooms. Vera also witnessed several monks casting freezing wind at metal instruments, generating condensation in the humid air of these underground caverns. That's what they were doing. Over the course of the day, you met Abbess Gower, from whom Talia demanded purpose and received cryptic responses. Eventually, you went to sleep in the warm food hall, but you were grabbed in the middle of the night. Your heads were forcibly shaved. You were cleansed with near-freezing water, given pale, kind of rose-colored robes, and cots in separate huts. So, Happy Squad is now divested of all possessions, wearing simple monk robes, and shaved bald.
I go to sleep.
Yes, you all gain the benefits of a long rest.
Did you give me my character sheet back, or
divination rolls?
Yep.
No, because I keep forgetting to print it.
Yeah. Sorry,
16 and 11 on my phone this
16
whole time.
And 11. You are all woken up by the shivering. There is no heat source in the huts that you're sleeping in, although it is warmer in here than outside. You mostly fell asleep from sheer exhaustion. You each wake up, and the other 3 cots in each of your various huts are each one has a monk sleeping in it. They are dressed.
Each one has a monk.
Yes, each cot has a monk sleeping.
We all get a few monks.
They all appear to be sleeping soundly, and it is pitch black in the room that you're in.
So no one is sleeping on the floor?
Nope.
This is suspect.
This is suspect.
Because they just got 3 additional people on their island. Where did the extra cots come from?
What are you guys doing?
Can I see my other people since I don't have dark vision and it's pitch black?
No.
Okay. So I don't know they're there.
But monks do snore.
No.
Well, I have low light vision, so I don't see much, but I will cast light on something. Wait, you said it's dark, but we woke up?
Yep.
So it's morning?
You don't know. It's really dark and you're really cold.
But I was, were we conscious at all for the whole situation that went down?
Yeah, you woke up when you were grabbed.
Okay.
I have a very odd question.
Yes.
Do halflings have round or pointy ears?
Rounded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I thought they had just slightly
Just
pointed
curious.
ears.
But my ears are now
Not
cold
these ones.
because I don't have my curls anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm great.
You're cold.
Yeah, but whatever. I got scales.
So what are we doing?
I feel for my dagger. It's clearly not there.
It's not there.
Great. I'll just cast light on something. Whatever.
What are you casting it on?
Can I see, is there any...
Is it something that's no more, 3 feet in any dimension?
Yeah.
Something like that?
So
Yeah, you can cast it on, the leg of your cot.
yeah, sure. There we
Okay. Bright light fills the room.
go. Okay. Who do I got here? Look around. Who's...
3 very bald, very sleeping monks.
But none of them are my people.
Correct.
Great. I'm gonna go out, poke my head outside.
Okay.
Is it...
You poke your head outside, and it is so cold. And as the wind rushes across your head, your whole body just starts shivering even more violently.
Great.
It is dark outside. The horizon is ever so slightly pale. It's not the middle of the night.
Okay.
You're kind of in the very pre-dawn time.
There wasn't none of these huts. I assume they're all identical inside. Is there a fireplace? Is there a hearth? Is there... No.
Nope.
Is it light enough that I can see where I'm going?
Yes. Everything is bathed in kind of the pale, rosy light of the red moon.
Sweet.
As well as... Actually, hang on. Let me check my moon cycles here.
It was a full moon.
You can see well enough. It is a cloudless night.
Okay. I'll head for the big building where I know that there is fires that are capable... or I know there are fireplaces.
Oh. Aethra is full. So...
Okay.
Yeah. So the red moon was full just a few nights ago. Mm-hmm. That is starting to wane, but the other moon... Our
regular moon.
Yes. Previously, the only moon in the sky is full tonight, actually.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Mars is bright tonight.
Yeah, I will just head to the big building where they had fireplaces.
Okay.
I'll dismiss light so it doesn't disturb the other people in the hut.
Okay.
And I'll just head there.
Okay. You can't really bundle up because you've just got your robes, so you just kind of huddle and quickly run across the paths all the way to that building.
Yep.
You burst through the door, and it's warm in here.
Nice. Okay.
There are no fires, but it is warm in here. You just kind of shut the door.
Yeah.
Eventually, the shivering goes away. Okay. The other two of you?
I think when in Vreem, do as the Vreemans do. And I reach out and I find a warm monk.
Okay.
No. And I curl up in the cot with the warm monk.
You
and
do
I
that.
Go back to sleep.
And how is that exactly what the
that.
Vreemans do?
Take advantage of the Vreemans where the Vreemans are.
It is immensely practical.
Am I lying on a cot as well?
You are.
Okay. Is there a chamber pot in this room?
There is.
I want to cast light on it.
There is now a very, very shiny chamber pot in the room.
What do I see?
I love that chamber
there are
pots
3
are
monks
our thing now.
sleeping in the other 3 cots in the room that you're in. They are all completely unconscious as far as you can tell.
One is my hot water bottle.
And you are cold as hell.
But you're not in the same room. I'm not in the same hut.
Okay. I'm gonna go wake one up.
Okay. You go over and you just start shaking one. No reaction.
Fucking monks. Fine. I'm gonna get up and poke my head out. Oh, poke my nose out. See if I can smell anything. Out of the door, sorry. I'm gonna open the door.
I figured.
I'm gonna poke my nose out of the roof now.
Out of the chamber pot. Okay.
Sniff the chamber
You probably
pot.
smoked your nose out of the
Your
chamber.
nostrils immediately freeze, and you just kind of jerk. Right, you know when you
It's crunchy.
Yep.
It's awful.
deeply inhale
And
in really cold
in
air,
your-
it just feels like somebody shoving daggers up your nose.
Yep.
It's like that.
Ah! Stupid.
Get yourself a
Stupid
hot water
dragon
bottle
nose.
like me.
I'm gonna go underneath one of the other monks' cots and just lay there.
Okay.
No cuddles?
It's
No.
it's really cold, and you are unable to go back to
I
sleep.
don't think Almania's cuddly anymore.
Is there anything in the chamber pot?
Yeah.
What's in the
Slightly
chamber pot?
undead Almania?
Chamber pot contents.
Awesome. I'm gonna set it on fire.
Okay.
Yes.
With what?
Burning hands?
Okay.
No, wait.
Go
Can
set that
prestidigitation
right on
set
fire.
things on fire?
Yes, it can light a small campfire.
Oh, sweet. Then I'll.
It can light a small campfire. This is not dry wood.
Great. I'm gonna.
But
use
it
burning
is
hands.
flammable.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
You,
jeez.
a little more cautiously this time. You lean back and kind of stick your hands in. The ceiling catches on fire again.
Okay, fine with that.
Okay. The ceiling is burning merrily. The chamber pot is burning merrily, and you manage
And
to just.
I'm not there to put it out.
Eventually, you are warm enough. You just kind of curl up and.
Yep.
and you
While
fall
your
back to
house
sleep.
burns down around
Okay.
you.
You do what you have to.
Tilia, you've got about an hour. What do you want to do?
Before my hot water bottle wakes up.
Well, there's no furniture in this big hall.
There are stacks of bowls,
Excellent.
and there is a massive stack
I will
of
take a
fine
bowl.
carpets. Yes.
And I will cast light on the bowl so
You
that I
cast
can
light
see
on
what
the
I'm
bowl.
doing.
Yep.
First things first, I look at my arm and see how that's looking.
There is a spiral cut
So it didn't
that
heal
is
up.
poorly healed.
Excellent.
As you look at it, you kind of flex your arm and it breaks open in places and just kind of starts weeping this clear liquid.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna encourage that.
Ew.
Okay.
Ew.
Like with a dagger, or just kind
No,
of
just
will
like
that
I
it
don't
continue?
have a dagger,
That's
Joshua.
fair point.
Someone took all of my stuff.
Okay.
So I'll just start. You know how you do when you worry. And
Okay.
scab,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
just,
So you're just gonna go through and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Cool.
And then I would like to look around carefully in here. I'm looking for any sort of trapdoors, any sort of secret passageways, any places where they store wizards' spell books that they have confiscated.
Roll an investigation check.
Excellent. Actually,
Just want to use the 16.
yeah, so that would be a 21.
Okay, 21. Yeah, it's not terribly difficult. There is a trap door in the corner, large, not terribly hidden. You open it up, and there are steps that just lead down. And as you go down there, there's a small hallway and just a number of, not doors, just openings. All of this is natural stone that's been not cut, but trampled down by many feet, whatnot. It is a number of rooms that have more carpets. There are boxes and boxes of you don't know what. You find what else is down here? Mostly just boxes. Shelves of various types of equipment.
Okay.
Lots of bands of slightly stretchy fabric.
Therabands.
Just these weird,
Rubber.
these
Silly
weird, about 3 feet in diameter bands of very thick, very soft,
Okay.
somewhat stretchy cloth.
Cool. Any of the boxes look like they either have less dust on them than the other boxes, or like they have been placed there recently, disturbed recently?
Most of them look like they haven't been disturbed in a while.
Okay. Yeah, I'll open a box and see what's inside.
Okay. Shears, sheaves of wool. Several of them are just filled with this odd red grass type vegetation. No wizard books, nothing hugely interesting.
Okay. You said there's like a does it keep going? Like, is there a hallway passage? Does it go somewhere, or is it just a storage space?
Most of these rooms are the same.
Okay.
Yeah. There's 7 rooms.
And they're just like storage
Looks largely
space.
like storage. Yeah.
Okay. But not any of my stuff. Okay. Is there... There's no other passages or anything down here? It's just basically a cellar?
Not that you see, no.
Okay. I will go back up. And I did not know from whence Vera came when she came out of the
Don't go down there.
place.
There's creepy eels with human faces down there.
Okay. I will go back and just kind of go and clear out a space, like at the back of the pile of the rugs.
Okay.
Just kind of clear myself out a space back there, and I'll just sit and meditate.
Okay.
For a while on things.
You sit and meditate for a while on things.
I try to think of a place that Illyriel might have been when she told me to come find her there.
Okay. Almania and Vera.
Yo.
You both awaken to pain.
Nice.
It's very sharp pain. And you wake up in confusion, and you see a monk standing above you, holding a long, narrow stick. The time has come to shave the goats.
I thought the goats have already been shaven.
I'm sorry, fucking what?
It is time to shave the goats. Get up.
What goats?
Whack!
Okay. I go, ow!
You do that, and it hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. What am I gonna cast at him?
Whack!
Oh, dear.
I didn't think I was going to have to pull up their stat sheet, but go ahead and do that now.
I'm assuming I have a different guide saying the same thing.
Yes.
Can I catch the stick pretty fast?
You can try. Give me a dexterity check.
It's not good. But just dex?
Yep.
It's only an 11.
11. You reach out for it.
Oh, I
Whack!
wasn't trying to grab it. I meant when he was hitting me, I was going to try and, block.
Oh, I see. You hold out your hand, and it just smacks across your knuckles and hurts even more than when he hit your shoulder with it.
I'm gonna cast Crown of Madness.
Of course you
are. 22. It's a wisdom save, right?
Yeah.
22.
Yeah, that definitely saves.
Whack!
Okay, fuck! Get up from my warm chamber butt.
Okay.
Whack! I get it, okay? Where am I supposed to go? I don't see any goats, and you haven't given me anything to shave them with, so this isn't on me anymore.
Turns, walks out of the room.
And he wonders why we hated Usmanov.
Follow.
Usmanov never did anything like this. You follow him out, Vera.
You know, violence is not necessary.
Whack!
Just ask nicely. Can I catch that one?
Roll a dexterity check.
Not catch, but just,
Yep.
The hand. Oh, come on. 13? Nah.
Whack! Your hand now has... It's actually starting to bleed a little bit on the palm. Sorry, I have something just stuck in my eye.
I just look him in the eye and wipe off my hand.
Okay.
And say, well.
Whack!
Reach out to catch again.
At this point, you're taking damage.
Yeah, I know.
You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Can I roll for it?
For the love of God. Can you roll for what?
For that catch. For that block.
No, at this point, like you're reaching out and trying to grab it, and he knows
I'm not
exactly.
grabbing it.
And he's
I'm trying to guess where he's
no,
going to
I know
hit me.
it hit your hand, and you took 2 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay.
I just sit here and look in the eye. Yes.
Whack! This time in the head.
Can I block that?
Sure, roll a dexterity check.
Nope. I don't.
Okay. You take another 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
I just sit there and look him in the eye.
He's gonna keep whacking you.
Okay.
They're not very verbal, are
Okay. You're just not gonna move?
Nope.
Okay.
He's just gonna hit me until I'm unconscious.
Yes, he does. So eventually you fall unconscious. Talia,
Yes.
eventually your meditation is broken by somebody opening the door, and you hear announced to the room, "It is time to shave the goats."
Do I recognize the voice?
You do not.
Okay.
There they are.
Sorry. I've had a feeling that something like that happened already.
You're hidden behind.
Oh, nobody sees me?
No.
Oh, well then I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna sit there.
Okay. It is time to shave the goats.
Divination is a school of magic by which one can learn to manipulate and predict the threads of fate.
You feel a hand on the back of your on the back of your robes, and you are just pulled out from behind the blankets, the carpet set on your feet. This very kind of diminutive female monk, and you look around and there's nobody else here, and you're trying to imagine a person of this frame just pulling you one-handed out behind.
Like, is she Vera size or?
Oh, Vera size? No, larger than that.
Okay,
It's
keep in mind I travel with the halfling.
right,
so
human female, so larger than the halfling,
Perhaps actual Grace size.
but definitely small in comparison to your frame. Follow me.
Okay,
Turns and walks out of the building.
I'll follow.
Okay, Almania and Talia, you guys are led into the early, pale, pre-dawn morning and pulled off to a side of the island, and it is cold. You guys are wearing just these small, thin slippers. And as you're led towards the far end of the island, you can see a large patch of large creatures just kind of
They look
rooting
like goats.
through the snow, chewing on stones. These are giant goats.
How giant are we talking?
They are considered large.
That's a big goat.
Yep, it's a real big goat. You are each handed a basket and a pair of shears.
Well, this is interesting. Having spent all of my life away from any sort of agricultural, pastoral sort of scenes, I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do with this.
Shave the goats.
What I'm attempting to tell you, and you seem to be a little dense in understanding me, is that I don't know how. So perhaps you could give us a demonstration?
Or else we might just stab the goats, which I feel like would be just detrimental to everybody here.
I certainly don't want to kill any goats.
I don't know. Sacrifices are used with goats. Kill goats. Kill them.
You have been told only to shave them.
Well,
Collect their wool and return.
Would they hand us a bucket and...
A basket and a pair of shears.
I'm just gonna hold up the shears and shink, 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 shink. I feel like I could stab someone with these.
They're very sharp.
Nice.
Almania, are you all right?
Yeah, totally.
There's
I
a
don't
manic
think
gleam in her
this
eye.
is right.
What, that we're shaving goats? Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of
Got
things I don't think are
smacked in the
right
face.
now.
At this
You got
point,
smacked in the
guys
face.
You guys are standing there in the cold, and just the shivers are starting to set in.
Oh, fuck, let's go shoot these
The two
stupid
monks are
goats.
just standing there watching.
How are you guys so warm? And don't give me some crap about, like, my soul is warm. That's bullshit, okay? Let's be real. That's absolute bullshit. So, like,
Take off towards
how
the
are
goats.
you physically not dying of hypothermia?
You asked the wrong question.
Oh my god. I'm going to die on an island
question-
surrounded by ambiguity.
The question is not how. The question is why.
Great, why?
Shave the goat.
Oh my god, okay.
Are they wearing goat long underwear? Explain why.
They weren't. They are now.
I've already walked up.
Go.
And
Okay.
I'm just like,
You walk towards the herd of goats.
yep. Just, trying to be... I'm sorry. Jenny knows how to handle goats.
Okay.
Jenny actually raised goats. Talia probably doesn't know that, so let me think about that for a second.
Those little
Yep.
Noises.
I'm just walking up to a goat.
Because I'm like, of course, you go and you treat a goat just like you treat a dog. That's what
Yeah.
you do. You're like, come here.
They're actually.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, sweet.
Sure, go ahead and
Sure,
roll an
goats.
animal handling check.
Sweet. I don't think I've ever rolled animal handling.
They do
even
have
when I was a
demon eyes.
druid.
But so do a lot of it.
But the pupils are horizontal. They're demon eyes. Do they have goat eyes? With
You're
the
not
horizontal pupils? I'm just asking out of curiosity as Grace, because it's one of the most disturbing things about a goat, which is otherwise a cute animal.
They do.
Oh.
5?
Yep.
Cool. You start walking towards one, holding your hand out,
Dice jail.
and one of the goats stands up, looks at you, and you realize this thing's back is probably up to about your sternum. These things are
Oh, that's a big goat.
big. And it kind of looks at you. You come slowly towards it, and it kind of turns towards you, takes a tentative step forward.
Yeah, I know that body language. I do. Talia doesn't.
I will stomp you to death
Well,
with my
okay.
hooves.
Suddenly, motion from your right kind of startled you. This massive ram, maybe a foot taller than the others, just comes charging through the snow at you, and you just manage to jump back, and it tries to stop, skids, slams into the rocks of the kind of the edge of the island, and tips over the edge. Vanishes. It rolled a 1.
He murdered himself. Not your fault.
Almania, you walked straight up to
dear.
one
I did.
and tried to grab it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna try and hit you.
Okay.
10?
No.
What is your dexterity modifier?
Excellent question. Thank you for asking. +2.
Okay,
Thank
so
you
your
for
armor class is 12.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You just managed to dodge out of the way, but you've got maybe a handful of wool.
I shaved a goat. Can I go home now?
Yeah.
The monks are standing a good 50 feet away, just impassively
I'm
watching.
gonna murder these goats.
The goat is turning around and going for another attack.
How many goats are there?
You estimate maybe 2 dozen?
I'm gonna cast mage armor on myself.
It's like Maddie's panic
You
response.
cast mage armor on yourself.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste a spell slot on mage armor. But...
I'm wasting spell
You
slots
could
left
just
and right,
let
honey. Like,
yourself
I
be
can-
beaten
at this
to
point, I
death
can
like
do
me.
anything.
So now what are you doing? The female giant goat is still kind of looking at you.
There's no vegetation around or anything that resembles food that
They seem to be digging in the snow
Okay.
and scraping something off the rocks with their teeth, but
They're eating lichen. Okay. Well, that didn't work very well. Okay, but she's still looking at me.
yeah.
Okay.
With this horrible little horizontal eyes.
Well,
love
I'm
their
sorry that didn't go very
I like
well,
goats
did
with
it?
their eyes. Yeah.
I love... Come on, please.
Yes.
Yes, I got
More,
Josh
more.
Yes!
I'm gonna come in next time with vertical, like, goat pupil contact lenses.
It's horizontal.
I'm sorry, horizontal bars.
It's
Yeah,
the freakiest
it's gonna be
thing.
great. Roll another animal handling check.
Okay, dang. Dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. You manage to slowly approach this one, and you gently start shearing off.
I'm talking to her in Elvish the whole time, kind of
That's
patting
great.
her down and thinking
Okay.
of Mother.
You've managed to shave a goat.
Excellent.
As you finish talking, you suddenly hear scrabbling of hooves on rock, and you kind of spin around over your shoulder, and the ram has made its way back up to the top and is
good.
looking at
Look,
you.
those mountain goats.
They are giant mountain
They
goats.
crave that mineral.
No.
Yes, it went over the edge, which bought you time to shave a goat. Okay, Almania, what is your second attempt?
Go to Jenny's goat.
I'm sorry, Jenny doesn't live here.
Jenny's goat
I'm gonna
has
go
been
to Leah's
successfully
goat.
sheared.
He's naked.
Well, no, the one that she's going up to, because she said she was going after.
Oh, she's going up to
another one.
I didn't say so, no.
No, so
Oh,
she,
sorry, I
while
just
she's
finished.
doing that, you're gonna have to figure out your next move. So the one that you tried to shave, you managed. I keep saying shaved, sheared. Kind of kicked at you, and you managed to dodge, and now it's eyeing you warily. And there's kind of all of the other ones around you are starting to kind of prick up and look at you.
I'm gonna cast Crown of Madness on a goat.
Yes.
Perfect.
How wise are they?
You know,
Goats are
Actually,
clever little
goats
jerks.
Above
Goats have
average.
intelligence. Yes.
5.
No.
So what is kind of does it just attack random things near it?
I am delighted by
Yes.
this.
It's charmed by me. And
okay.
it has to make a melee attack on a creature other than itself and me.
Cool.
Is it a creature that you choose?
It is actually a creature that I choose. I'm just gonna freaking pick a goat.
Okay, yeah. Jesus. This one just kind of turns, spins,
This one
and
is here?
kicks one of the giant goats next to it that just lands in the snow and skids, and its legs are kicking in the air, and it manages to right itself, turns, lowers its head, and charges back at the one that hit it.
Nice.
Those two are fighting, and
Nice.
some of the other ones are starting to just kind of kick their legs, like excitement is spreading in the herd.
Nice, great. I'm gonna go up to one of them and try and climb its wool to get on its back,
Okay?
and then try and shear the top of it.
Sure. Give me a contested athletics check, because it doesn't want you to do that.
I'm trying to distract it. I distracted it. Okay.
It's hard to distract something from, being climbed on.
17.
17.
Pretty good.
It was close. 16.
Yeah.
So you jump on it, manage to climb up onto the top.
Big money.
You are now essentially riding a bucking giant goat.
Great,
It's
I'm gonna-
trying its best
By
to kick you
chance-
off.
While I'm holding on with one hand, I'm gonna use the other one and just.
Okay, so you just grab. Give me just a straight dexterity check with disadvantage because it's kicking around.
Okay.
And cut up this poor goat.
Not bad. 15.
15. Okay. Yeah, you managed to start taking chunks off of it. Talia,
Throwing them to the
Yes.
ground, so there's just raining.
something is happening over there, and they're starting to get real antsy. How are you approaching your next goat?
Hold on. I need another D8. There it is.
Okay. I'm sorry. Actually, the ram is coming at you again.
Do I see him coming?
Yeah, you know he's there.
He's a fainting goat. Just
Okay.
scare him.
17 to hit.
Yeah, that
the
would hit
screaming
anyway,
goats?
even with shield.
My family
Okay.
loves fainting goats.
You take
Their little legs go stiff and they fall over.
You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as he just charges across the snow, slams into you, and you go flying back,
She?
tumbling.
No,
what?
this is the
No.
ram.
I was about to say that has
Talia,
to be a he. Okay.
tumbling back into a crowd of other giant goats that are getting more and more excited.
Oh, this ain't good.
So what do you want to do? You're in a lot of trouble at the moment because they're all starting to kick and.
I'm gonna cast sleep at 2nd level.
Oh my god. Okay.
This
Yeah.
is genius.
Go for it.
Night, goats.
That be on your t-shirt.
Night night goats.
Night night goats.
Total?
I'm working on it. Jeez. $31.
31. Okay. One goat kind of falls down
Did their
into
little
the
legs
snow.
go stiff and they fall
Yes,
over? That's what
legs
they
go
do.
stiff.
So cute.
But a couple of the other ones around you kind of calm, get a little bit sleepy. You
Excellent.
manage to
Yeah, I'm gonna go shear the
to
unconscious
shear another.
one.
Oh, okay. You shear one of the unconscious one. Almania, you are in the thick of this,
I'm sure.
and two of the goats are targeting.
Rodeo riding.
It's
that goat.
just.
But I'm on top of another goat.
You are.
Yes.
Uh,
I feel like it'd be hard to aim at.
you've got half cover,
Yes.
so you're at a 15.
I'm already at a 15, so I have more. Because I have mage armor.
Ah, okay. So you got an 18.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
they're slamming
no, because
into the
you don't
goat.
have your armor anymore.
But I'm wearing mage armor. I
Yeah,
have mage
she cast
on
mage
top
armor
of
on
her
herself.
regular.
Okay,
whatever.
they slam into the goat that you're on, but otherwise you manage to hold on and you just keep shearing clumps of the wool are just falling off
Nice.
into the snow. Okay, 2 successes, 2 successes. All right, last one. Male goat's coming at you again.
Okay.
Okay, well, try this one here. 18 to hit.
Yeah.
So you take another 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Jeez.
They're giant goats. What do you want to do?
I don't want to hurt any of them. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
It is at this point, as you've been hit twice by the goat, you've landed deeper in this mess of goats that are starting to go nuts, that you realize you kind of smell smoke.
Oh.
And you kind of look over, and a little bit beyond the monks, there's a large, one of the huts is just this roaring inferno.
Shoot.
Hey, they came in, whacked me on the head, did not notice, so at some point this isn't my fault anymore.
Should have cuddled one of them monks.
Well, so I will try to sleep again at the goat that is currently attacking
Okay.
me. Well, I can't target it. That's the thing.
Well, it's the one with the lowest hit points.
Right.
This one has sustained no damage, whereas those around it have.
Okay. Sleep this. Oh, shoot. There's nothing else I can do, though, because I don't want to hurt him.
Why not?
I have my reasons.
Murder this goat.
Will you sleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
At second level again.
Yep.
That 8's nice.
That's bad.
But, that's, math. God. 20. Oh, that's a 7. Okay. 27. 30.
30? Okay.
Another goat.
Another goat goes down. In the press, you're pretty sure that you can kind of run in, clip a little bit off, get away while the ram tries to find you again, run back in, snip a little off.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly
Cool.
what I'll do.
Okay. You eventually manage to kind of stuff your basket totally full of wool and scurry out of all of this mess. Couple of the crazy goats are going to take runs at you.
Okay.
16 and 9.
The 9 will miss, the 16 will hit.
16 will hit. Okay. You take another 8 points of damage.
Okay.
You still
Are you up?
standing?
Barely up.
Don't worry,
You've
I'm out.
got 20. You've got 1 hit point.
No, I have 25 as my max. How much did I
Well,
just say?
you've taken 24. They've rolled 8 each time, so you should be at 1 hit point.
You said this one was less, though, right?
No, this one's 8.
Oh.
I rolled a 1 and a 4 every single time plus 3.
So I have 1 hit
You got
point.
1 hit point. You managed to scurry out of there. You are beaten and wet. There's snow everywhere, but you've got your basket of wool. Almania,
I'm still shearing off my goat.
you've got a goat.
Yeah.
Okay, you need 2 more.
Any more goats?
Yeah.
I've clipped off the clump of one.
She's managed to shear 3 goats.
Well, screw that.
And it's a mess in here.
Can I jump off of one goat onto another goat?
Give me an acrobatics check.
This is one of the most spectacular visuals I've ever had in my head.
what check in acrobatics?
An
That's
acrobatics check.
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. Yeah, you managed to get onto another goat.
Gonna do the same thing.
One of the ones that charges you is going to miss. One of them's going to roll a dirty 20, and the other one's going to roll a 23.
Okay.
Ouchie.
All right.
So 2 of those hit?
Yep.
Okay, 2, 4,
Well done, goat sharing.
6,
Okay.
Not my first rodeo.
10.
might
You
be
take
Among
16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Rude.
As you manage to leap onto another one, and you start shearing it, but another goat slams into it, and your leg just hurts. You get slammed from the other side. You almost fall off. You manage to clamber your way up and start shearing it. Okay, you got 2 goats.
I'm gonna do the same thing and jump onto another goat.
Okay, roll an acrobatics check. At this point, it is nuts out here, so it's really hard.
18.
18, okay. 3 of them are going to take runs. 11, 16, 18. 18 hits?
18 just hits.
It's
14, 4 plus 8. You take another
I never did it myself.
14 points of bludgeoning damage. Oh my god!
But I have all my goats.
Hey, 1, 0.
You've got all of your wool, and you managed to just kind of jump from goat to goat, and you managed to get out of there. Both of you with 1 hit point.
Oh my gosh.
Holy crap!
So I would like to go up to the monks that are in charge
Yep.
there and say, "All right, so I can help you in the way I just did, where we keep things calmer. I'm sorry for what my friend did. She's not been herself since she died. I can help you, but I need the things that were taken from me last night."
Takes the basket, hands you another one. For about half of the rest of the day.
I have 1 hit point. I'm not going back in there.
I know. I'm taking that as representative of kind of the way the rest of the day goes. So you guys go back in. And eventually you guys manage to shear quite a few goats. And you come out beaten and everything. You guys, between the 2 of you, have managed to get about 7 or 8 baskets full of wool. And the monks just kind of take them and leave.
I lay out in the snow and point my hand at the sky and go, fuck this.
You guys are both just kind of standing there exhausted. You're covered in bits and pieces of wool. You're sweating, and now the wind is blowing it, and it's cold, it's itchy, it's horrific. The rest of the day is yours. So unless anybody in the group has a way of getting off the island, you guys are level 4, so you can take the week to spend. You will need to spend half of each day at least working on whatever it is that your class needs to work on. If you'd like to multi-class into monk, you may multi-class into monk.
Without prerequisites?
You will need the prerequisites.
I hate you.
Yes.
I would like to RP what happens when I wake up.
Okay.
Because actually, I do.
Oh no, I was going to get there. I was just letting you guys know so that you can prepare.
Because that
here.
might affect what happens.
Okay.
I can't multi-class into monk. I don't have a 13
Neither
wisdom.
can I. I don't.
It depends on how this
You would need a
conversation
13
goes, and
wisdom.
we'll talk.
Okay, you were in your hut. You were beaten into unconsciousness.
I was.
Eventually, Vera is dragged out to where you guys are shaving goats, and you're propped there. Are you continuing to be non-compliant?
I never said I was not compliant.
Okay.
So are there monks watching?
Yeah, there are the 2 monks standing there, and they've got a steadily growing pile of baskets full of giant goat wool.
Do I eventually wake up
Oh yeah.
with how many hit points?
You wake up with 1 hit point, and you're just freezing. You wake up because of the cold on your face, and you kind of pull your face out of the snow.
I will.
You see a battleground.
Yes, I know. I
You
do.
see Almania desperately jumping from goat to goat, taking a few chunks off here, leaping to the next one. Lots of goats leave this encounter just patchy, only parts of them, but total she manages to aggregate enough actual goat for, wool.
Do I recognize either of the 2 monks who are watching?
No. It's hard. You've seen several dozen monks on the island, and with all of the just perfectly shaved heads,
I'm very observant.
and none of them really look you straight in the face, and you haven't a lot of interactions with them, it's hard to pick them out. You would recognize, Sister Cadmium.
The guy hit me.
But
Do the older monks
no,
have hair?
sorry, and the one who hit you. Yes.
Do the older, higher up monks have hair?
Nope.
Doesn't make any... Okay, never mind.
All totally shaved.
I will not get into details.
Before enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood and carry water.
That sounded like another monk platitude.
You wake up.
A cadmium.
Yes.
I'll hobble up to one of them and
Cadmiism.
just go, pain is no incentive. I know it well enough. I'll just walk out into the sea of angry goats, and I will go and I will just sit down quietly.
Okay. You are very quickly run over, rammed.
Yep. I go back unconscious.
Talia and Almanya, at some point during this, you watch as Vera's broken body just gets hurled out of the mess. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Well, I wouldn't just let Vera's broken body get thrown somewhere.
Why
I
are
would
they
be
attacking
running
me?
to
I'm making
intercept
no
it.
motions. I just go and I sit.
Because they're all just going nuts.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
that's not my
that's-
question.
Losing their minds.
She started a fight.
So I'm arriving at the same time.
Yes.
So there's a mob of running
they've
around.
clearly.
goats.
I'm sorry. They've clearly been at it for a while.
Okay,
So-
then
so
I'm
there's-
not walking in the middle. I thought they were just a bunch of ambling goats at this
No,
point.
no.
I thought they were done.
It's a battlefield.
Never mind. Okay, then I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Just to clarify,
That would have been interesting.
I'll just sit on
I wasn't
the
going to kill you. I
sidelines.
have a chart
know.
for what happens.
And
if
I'm
you...
going to sit and wait until everything till we're back to normal and calm down.
Okay.
I'm cold, but I'll wait.
You sit there and you do that. They don't do anything.
Do they eventually just start eating and doing their normal thing?
I'm sorry. So the monks, once they've collected
Yeah,
the wool,
I'm not doing
eventually head
anything either.
off.
I'm waiting.
And the goats, once they leave and the fighting dies down, the ram kind of just leads them off the cliff, and they just kind of go to the edge and just hop and disappear from sight.
So I walk very slowly, edge of the cliff, and just peek over.
Yeah.
What are the goats doing?
They're just making their way down, and then eventually they kind of curve off and around a bend out of sight.
Okay. I'll sit on the edge there and wait for them to come back.
Okay.
I wouldn't have left Vera either. I would have stayed with her.
Okay.
I wouldn't have just left.
So you guys are both standing at the edge of the cliff with one hit.
Mrs. Mayweather.
Yeah, after that, I'm going to bed. Taking a nap.
Well, you're going to have to spend the rest of the day doing your
you look a
class
little
stuff.
rough.
That's true. Yes.
Psychology.
But
I can do that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've raised sons. You think these things are any worse?
No, of course not.
My sons are goats.
You don't remember? Do you remember? Like, do you think we could find our way back to where they took us and see where they may have put our things? I need my things.
I
I need my
understand.
spell book. I need my components.
Believe me, I very much want my own things back, but at the moment... Remember the conversation we had a while ago about power?
Yes, I do remember that.
At the moment, we don't have any.
I've noticed.
It's not as terrible as that sounds.
It's perfectly normal for me, to be perfectly honest.
We'll have to have another conversation about that, but your head is your own, if that makes any sense. Your mind is your own.
Okay.
Perhaps I should clarify.
Thanks for clarifying that, because Talia was just rubbing her poor bald head, going, really? Are you sure about that?
What's in your head is your own. What they do to your body is
That
entirely
again
irrelevant.
comes with many layers that Talia begs to differ with you on.
But you may have inspiration.
How much?
I think still a D6.
We're on D6, yeah.
Cool.
Still D6.
thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, I have them. Thank you very much.
You have a D6 of inspiration.
Just sit there on the edge.
Can you explain that to me? Because you see, I mean, I think you know some of what I have gone through, but for many years now, my head has not been my own. My mind has not been my own. It has been owned and manipulated.
Yes, I have to admit I'm not familiar with the magical forms of taking over a mind. In my experience, it's the one untouchable thing. And to be honest, reading your experiences did frighten me. But I find it...
sorry, I didn't mean to cause you distress.
No, it's... Here, they don't seem to have the power to do that. And to me...
That is comforting.
No one's come after me with that. It's funny to me that they think a beating is going to force me to do anything.
Is that what happened?
Well, look at me, dearie.
I thought that was after you went into...
Oh. Sorry, that was actress. I didn't actually do that.
That's true. Oh my. No, that didn't happen to me at all. And I just was hauled out of my hidey hole rather unceremoniously while I was in the midst of meditation.
Yes, I suppose you must not have backtalked.
Oh, no!
Or questions.
Of course not. No, you don't do that. You do that, they hit you.
Yes, of course they hit you.
Or they
look at me, of course they hit you.
Yeah, you look familiar, actually, but I never backtalked him, ever. No, that would have been...
Why on earth not?
Because that wasn't my place, and it's not my place now. It's not...
Because they'll hit you.
No, because I have things that I want and I need, and you have to use the tools that you are given, Mrs. Mayweather.
Certainly believe that, and a little meekness in service of a larger goal is another matter. But here, I don't know. I'm curious how far they'll go, to be honest.
We are stuck here.
There certainly are.
On this island with no means of escape from them other than death.
That's what I said. They have the power here.
They do, and when people have the power over you,
yes,
then you don't fight that. Why would you?
What's curious here is, again, the power they have exerted over me has been physical pain. Right?
Yes.
And even here, you certainly look worse for wear. I assume that is their results of these...
Oh, it was the goats.
Creatures, yes. Yeah. Yes, of course.
I tried to talk to one of them, and he didn't like it.
Yes.
Which is normal, actually, now that I come to think of a lot of things.
I don't have a terrible
amount of what happens to me a lot in my life.
With animals. But what I'm saying is, they don't seem to possess the power of controlling the mind, so to speak, that your
it's true.
Erstwhile teacher possessed. They have the power of a beating. The power of a beating is only what is given to it. They act as if I've never been beaten before.
I see.
So.
But of what use is it to stand up to them, because did they...
The irony is I didn't stand up to them. I'm
you
perfectly willing to, shave a goat.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
Yes, well, I've seen the state of you. But
Oh, well, I guess I don't have to worry about the hair anymore.
I will do as they ask, but not with pain as an incentive. I want them to know that. That's why I let this happen to me. It seems to me that they could kill us, right?
They could.
It seems to me that if they wanted to, they would have done it already. So, what does it matter if they strike us?
Well, but surely if we do what they ask, perhaps they will be kind enough to give us what we ask.
Perhaps. But I will do as
my
they
master
ask.
is a hard man, but he usually gave me certain things that I asked him for.
I will do as they ask on my terms. And right now these are mine. I'm going to do it my way. And I showed them that, I think.
Interesting.
And I'm going to sit here quietly until these creatures return. They seem to come up here every once in a while. They seem to like the lichen on those rocks. And I will sit here and I will wait. I admit I don't know much of animals, but... Oh, Lord.
What? What is it?
I'm going to assume that you, my dear, don't hear dice.
No, I don't even have... No.
Yes, I hear you. Who's knocking?
Roll a wisdom check.
Why?
It's not a red dice day.
Jail.
I sit there and I listen to it.
Isn't that what happened before?
Yes.
So it's you then, not the city.
Must be. At first I thought it was some sort of... when I was in contact with divinity. But somehow sitting on a windswept hill waiting for a herd of goats doesn't feel particularly
oh, sweet
divine.
goddess, I nearly forgot.
What?
In all the... She spoke to me last night. I meant to talk to you about that.
Who?
Illyria.
The goddess.
Yes.
Lyra's goddess.
Yes, and mine.
Do I see her bleeding arm? Her pussing arm?
She's got long monk robes over it, and at this point, you guys are both sitting
I'm like
there.
this.
Okay,
like,
never mind.
dying.
Meanwhile, I'm by the burning fire that I started, and I'm warming up.
You go right over to that. You guys, as you have this conversation occasionally, like glancing around, you see Almanya just standing next to this roaring hut, just
Oh dear.
turning her back to it.
What a privilege.
I think... Oh no, why did
It's
she do that again?
amazing.
Oh yeah.
You are the
I
warmest
wasn't
you've
there
been
to
since
put
you
it out
left
this
Anisher.
time, Mrs. Mayweather.
Don't you think they deserve it just a tiny bit?
What?
They beat me unconscious, Lovey. I'm not going to feel sorry about that.
That's true.
About a fire.
Oh, my skills are all warm. I'm metallic.
Sorry,
So
I'm still hearing it.
You heard this when we were in the tavern, right before
That was the first time.
Almanya
right
died.
Lord, the ghouls, yes.
And then you heard it
Then
again.
on the ship,
On
when
the
we were
ship.
approaching this island.
Yes, I'm sorry, I was a little distracted then.
And now.
Um,
I said I'm listening. Is anyone trying to speak to me? I'm all ears. Yes, I'm not all ears. Sorry. Not talking to you, talking to whatever.
of course. Do you think maybe you want to go inside? Somewhere away from out here
no.
if it like summons
Lovey.
things that...
I'm not afraid of it. And frankly, again, I said I would do what these monks wish, just on my terms, and it's my terms to sit here quietly and wait.
You could pray to Illyria if you wanted to. I'm sure she'd listen.
Illyriel...
You don't have to do what I did. On the ship.
Yes, that rather worries me, and frankly, lots of Lyra's ongoings rather worried me. And frankly, Illyriel didn't seem the dice type.
No, that is odd. That is more Morthus's god's wheelhouse.
Yes, that's what I heard.
Maybe we should find Morthus.
Well, I spoke to Morthus about it briefly, and he was unfamiliar with the phenomenon.
Have you seen Morthus?
Not today.
Or Cormier?
Not today. Again, it's a small island.
Were you alone in your hut?
No, there were 3 other monks. I used one as a hot water bottle.
Oh, you did what?
Well, he was very warm and very cuddly. My waist, a good source of heat.
Cuddle a bowl.
Cuddleable.
Cuddly?
Oh, goodness. Well,
I just set things on fire.
Are you the god of goats? Is this what this is?
I want to meet the god of goats.
I don't think I've ever heard of a god of goats.
No, neither have I. Frankly, I'm not familiar with most gods. Perhaps
I'm
it's not
not
even
either, just
divine. Perhaps
ethereal.
it's demonic. But I will sit here and listen to it and see if it rolls 6s.
Oh. Is that significant?
It's the highest thing you can roll, is it not?
Well, I've heard of dice that roll higher.
Oh, it was a 6 and a 5! Oh, it would have been so cool.
Question.
Yeah.
Are most of the gambling games I know of played with 6-sided dice?
Yes, they are.
6 is the best
Yes.
you can roll.
You do know that they
I will
found an ancient
20-sided die.
20-sided
I saw that
die.
on Tumblr. That was good
I
stuff.
saw that too. That was fun.
Almanya, eventually you get very, very warm. Eventually the fire burns down. You can hear just kind of the conversation that Talia and Vera are having way over there, but it's, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not interesting.
Can't quite make out the words, and you really
don't really care.
enough to listen
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna go and just do my own stuff so I can level up.
Okay. So over the course of the week, what would you like to do to level up? What sorts is there anything in particular you want to do during your time?
I'm waiting for goats.
You're waiting for goats.
Chilling with the goats.
The goats do not show up today, or for at any other time during the day.
I would go back after making sure she's okay and she's content to just sit there.
Mhm.
I'll give her space, and I would like to go in search of Sister Cadmium.
Okay. You go looking for cadmium.
Yes.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Got 1 hit point. 12.
12? Okay. You're shivering, but you manage to resist the cold, but it is getting harder and harder as you sit out here.
Are the 2 monks still behind me?
Oh, no, they collected the wool and left. They're gone.
Okay.
They're just alone on the edge of the cliff.
When did they do that?
As
They
soon
left
as
the
they
wool.
handed them the wool.
Oh, because I thought they were sitting there waiting for
Nope.
whatever.
No, they left as soon as, like, you came, refused to do anything for a while. Your monk stood right next to you. They fought the goats. They eventually finished, brought the wool out, and the 3 monks
See, all
left.
of this is not matching my intention here.
Okay.
I was sitting there waiting for it to, I wasn't going to walk into a bunch of screaming goats, and then I was going to walk in and
The
wait
goats
for them.
left and do not appear to have come back, and your monk is no longer watching you.
Okay. Then I will get up after a bit and start to walk back towards the temple area.
You head back towards the temple area.
As I spend... Oh,
I'm
sorry.
fully
Yeah, no,
willing
go
to
ahead.
shave a goat.
As I spend the week kind of contemplating my past, do I remember anything about how I got my magic?
No.
Just no sense at all.
It's just something that you feel. Your will seems to resonate with the world around you somewhat.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna, in short bursts, run outside, throw around some snow, dig in the ground, run back, do the same thing kind of over and over again, see if I can feel anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, all of this, you feel a connection to all of this, to the elements, to the earth, to the cold. You know with enough will, you could manipulate all of this.
Okay. Gonna work on my will then.
Okay.
Don't know what that means, but I'm good.
Well, you
Figure out.
have 4th level. You have an ability score improvement, so you could
I
add it.
do.
You could add that to your charisma.
That is true. Sure, why not?
Okay. Talia, you eventually find Sister Cadmium.
Mm-hmm.
She is currently leading a large group of monks in the temple, who are all doing that weird full body cat's cradle with those bands of thick, somewhat elastic stuff that you found in kind of the storeroom. And they're all twisted up and switching from form to form, and it's oddly beautiful, if bizarre.
Okay. Do I
But
find
she
them
looks
too?
busy.
Yes, she is walking up and down, calling out each form.
I know better than to interrupt.
You do. You don't think she would chuck fireballs at you, but...
Yeah, I know better. So I will actually then go back out, and I would like to stop by the nearest hut. And the cots, you said they're how long?
About 5 feet.
About 5 feet? Yeah. And do they look heavy, or do they look like...
No, they're super light.
Sweet. I will take 2 of them.
Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna head back to that room that we first came in.
The first one that you set on fire.
The room where we left Lyra dead on the floor.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you go back into the library. Okay, yeah. You've got your 2 cots.
With my 2 cots, I'll use them to fashion a bridge across the chasm.
Okay.
You know, I'll lay one down and use the other underneath. And I would take some rope or whatever and tie it together so that it's sturdy enough.
Okay.
Serviceable. I've been thinking about this all week.
So you're taking rope and you're tying the 2 cots together and then securing one on this end.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll slide it across to the other end.
Okay.
And I'm fairly light.
Yeah, but there's nothing attaching it to the other end.
She went on the narrow edge.
I went on the narrow edge.
There is a narrow edge.
You said it was about 7 feet.
Which is about 7 feet, yeah.
If the cot's 10 feet, I got 3 extra feet to work with.
What I'm saying is you've got 2 cots loosely tied together. One end which you can secure on this side.
You're saying the other one is resting on the other end.
No, I'm saying that the second you step on it, it's going to slip off of the other end.
Not if she has 3 feet on the other end.
Yes, but it's not solid in the center. Like if you had a one-piece thing and you stretched it across this chasm, yes, like a ladder, you could walk across it.
Sorry, I did the rope end to end, not around the middle. Around the middle of the cots, but end to end, like...
Excuse us for 1 second.
This.
Okay. You're still about 100 and some pounds.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be on it very long.
Roll just a straight dexterity check.
Big money. It wasn't bad money. It wasn't low money.
14.
It was low money. Okay, you craft this. You're pretty sure it's going to fall if you go across it. You'll need to figure out some way of securing it.
Okay. I'm pretty smart. Let's see. Resourceful.
When you walked into the library, you did find Morthus there.
Oh, cool.
Morthus. Boy.
He was having a conversation with Midair when you walked in.
That's normal for him. Okay.
But he was basically sitting cross-legged next to Lyra's body that's still wrapped in the...
So he's on the other side.
Tablecloth from Samvilhain still? Yeah. No, he's on this side.
No, she's on the other side.
Oh, did you guys put Lyra on the other side?
Yeah, I left her there.
Oh.
Because I told him to put her down.
Then yes, he is on the other side, sitting cross-legged over her body.
Perfect.
So yeah, no, okay, so you can slide it across to Morthus, and he's there. He'll go, hold it 1 second. Yeah, what do you want?
Can you hold the other end of this while I come across?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he holds it.
Excellent.
Sure. So you've got it wrapped lengthwise, tied to one of those bull statues on this side, and then you manage to walk across. 4 kicks and giggles. Roll me a dexterity check.
17.
Okay. Yeah. And you manage to make your... It's a little wobbly, but you manage to make your way across.
Okay, that worked.
Can I look?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
he kind of sets his end down and goes back over to Lyra.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry?
What are you doing?
I was just chatting.
Oh, okay. Do you mind if I just go through the books here? I'll be quiet and you.
Have at it.
Okay. Have you found anything good?
Not
you weren't
really.
looking at the books, were you?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Did you need anything else?
No.
Okay.
Please.
So yeah, this whole thing is just, I really don't... And he just continues
and I listen while he continues to have his conversation. I want to hear what he's talking to his ghost about.
Just this whole journey.
Okay.
Not really clear why he's on it. really regretting it.
Just going through the books. Yep.
And he is really suspicious about what the hell happened with Almania and Lyra.
Fair.
I'm sorry, suspicious is the wrong word. He's upset by it and a little bit scared. And he does not want to be near Almania at all.
Okay.
So, you're searching the books.
Yes, I am going to go through the books.
Okay, what are you looking for in particular? In specific?
Anything that would be even remotely useful to me.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Specific.
Where's my library?
I know, I have like 18 pages of just library books. Like, just books.
That's a 15.
A 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You find your spell book.
Excellent.
It was just sitting in an empty slot on the shelves. You also find amongst a variety of other books, several spell scrolls.
Oh, sweet.
Alarm and cause fear.
I have alarm already, so I'll put that one back.
So you've got a scroll of it. Oh, you put it back? Okay. And then
no, I'll take it because people tend to destroy your spell book sometimes. So alarm and cause fear.
Cause fear.
Did you randomly roll for these?
I did.
This world is not built for us.
Okay. I recognize the School of Magic, obviously.
Yep. Because that's a mental thing, and you don't like.
Yeah. I will take it anyway because you can always. I won't necessarily copy it down in my book, but I'll hold on to it.
So give me your
that.
weak actions. That's with 2 E's. Sorry.
I still need to go. I'm going to the temple.
Yes.
After this. And up to the nearest monk, and I'll walk up to him. I've still got my shears and basket.
Yeah.
And just say...
No, your shears and basket were taken.
See, I think you're misunderstanding what my intention this whole time. I'm not
trying to
I don't know what your
intention is. I'm just saying, once you went over to the cliff and had the conversation...
I'd taken them all with me.
You specifically were holding on to it? Okay,
because I was trying to get the goats. I wasn't going to jump on them. I was just going to sit there quietly and wait for them to come to me.
No, they never came back today.
Okay. So I got my shears and basket, and I'll walk back into the temple, up to the nearest monk that I find. Just say, do you know when the goats will be up top again?
In the morning.
Good. Thank you. I'll go back to my hut.
Okay.
I'll go back to sleep.
Okay. Did you want to spend the day working on rogue things?
Well, what time of day is it?
So
I'm trying to complete the task that they set to me.
Yeah, no. About half the day is going to be... half of each day is going to be taken up by exercises that the monks have you guys do. Mm-hmm. The other half of each day is whatever you guys want to do to spend on your downtime. Mm-hmm. So you've got 9 half days of downtime.
Okay. I will first start to look around the temple and I see them do the weaving thing.
Yeah, no. It's most days.
Mm-hmm. So I'll just watch them and see what they're doing, because I know weaving.
Yeah. What they're doing is not precisely knitting, weaving, right? They're not knitting the loop together. It's some kind of strange combination resistance workout with kata. It's just an exercise.
Yoga mixed with macrame, you know.
I'll sit and I'll wait for Sister Cadmium to be done.
Okay.
And I'll watch the whole time to see what they're doing and try and memorize the actions.
Straight intelligence check.
Intelligence? 15.
15? Yeah, you study it. It gets to the point where you recognize when they stop a routine and start it over again. You can kind of start to recognize that pattern. Eventually, they finish up. The monks quietly fold their little loops and just disperse through various places. Some of them go down that staircase that you went down to find, where you found those 3 different chambers deep below the island. Others just head off along the paths into huts, and they scatter. And Sister Cadmium then pulls out a loop of her own and begins solo, just in this huge expanse of flat stone, doing her own.
I just sit there and watch her, but I sit where she can see me.
Yeah.
Sit there and watch her. Did she finish?
No, but as she does it, she starts talking to you. Your purpose is not the same as the others.
I cannot speak for their purposes.
Indeed.
My purpose is to do what you ask, as you see. Holding my basket with the shears in it.
That will not be necessary.
What else would you have me do?
You understand more than they do. And she's not looking at you. I'm looking at you. But she is just doing her strange rubber band kata.
Because I think it's really cool. I love knitting and I love weaving, and I think it's really cool.
Okay. Silence for 10 minutes. She stops, kind of folds it up, and throws you the band.
I start to try and do what I had seen them do.
Okay. You've got your feet on the inside and your hands on the inside, and you try to kind of push it out, and it really resists. This looks a lot harder. Like, these are a lot stiffer than it looked like the other monks were struggling with. You manage to eventually kind of push it out, so you're just kind of in a... And she calls out the first position. And you kind of start to try, but as soon as your elbows bend, the band kind of shoots inward, and it is grueling. But she runs you through a couple of... The different groups of monks were doing slightly different ones. She only has you do one set. One type of kata. And you just kind of do it over and over and over again, and it's really hard. Give me an athletics check.
This is why acrobatics. I was about acrobatics, please.
No, for this it is athletics
based.
because you have not learned
how
to make it otherwise.
Right.
Yeah. You're trying to brute force your way through it.
Dirty one.
Oh dear. You're real bad.
Yep. I keep trying.
Yeah, no, she simply calls it out and waits until you fail and kind of have to rest for a minute, and she pauses and waits. And then calls out the first position again. And you do that for a good long time. A couple hours until you're at the point where you can kind of barely stand, and you can't even push it out anyways.
I hold out bloody palm. Raise an eyebrow.
Again. Tomorrow. She collects the band and starts walking out.
Till tomorrow.
Okay.
Walk out.
Downtime actions?
I would spend time reading everything I get my hands on in the library, even the boring stuff.
So you're going to spend the week investigating the library?
Yeah, and I also would look for my components pouch.
Okay.
And any other, like, if there are books and scrolls, perhaps there are also quills and ink.
Sure. Roll
suitable usage.
So roll your investigation for the week. What are you doing every day?
I'm
continuing to dig in the snow and throw earth around and
see what I can do.
Cool.
So I'll keep working with cadmium, and then in my own time work on my Rogan, my fine detail.
Okay.
Rogan.
Not a lot of locks to pick because there really aren't a lot of actual doors here, and none of them have locks.
In theory.
But yeah, you kind of run through it in your mind.
And sorry, one more thing.
Yes.
I would like to hunt around for, if I find the same storeroom that you found, for something to knit with.
Okay, yeah. Investigation. And just charisma check. Elmina.
Me?
Charisma check, yeah.
18.
18, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You find all of your stuff.
Okay.
None of it was locked up or hidden away.
Okay.
You found your components pouch in one of those storerooms. You went back and kind of revisited, rooted around. You found it in one of the boxes. You find 2 more scrolls in the library.
Sweet.
Scroll of Earthbind and a scroll of Gust of Wind.
Okay.
You do find quills and ink. It is not of the quality that you need to inscribe spells, but you can easily replenish. Right, you're just standard quill and ink. You've got
okay
stuff to write with. Yeah, you can.
So I can't transcribe spells.
You would not be able to transcribe spells yet.
Okay.
But you've got those scrolls. You find a large number of books.
Cool.
Give me, just roll 2 d10s and give me each individual number.
3 and 7.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You gonna send me an email?
Get all the goodies.
Okay. One book that you read and
Hang on.
seems fairly interesting. Your character is aware that about a year and a half ago, the Northern Alliance of Guthrum and Arkal, 2 of the northernmost cities, their alliance just kind of shattered, and they've been engaging in a small scale naval war for a while. You don't know what the state of that is, but the book details hints at some sort of dispute over a dishonored marriage alliance between the royal families, which they take very seriously. So you're not quite sure what the state of that war is at the moment.
But that's interesting.
But the last you heard of it, it was... but from what you are reading here, it sounds like it is not over a minor thing, and... last the author here knew, it was not going to end anytime soon.
So is this like someone's journal?
It's not a journal. It seems to be a collection of random disconnected examinations of various social and political elements of the Northern Alliance. There's no narrative that connects them all together. It's just... and here's the way kind of the political system works.
Scholarly essays about the Northern Alliance.
Yeah, all of which seem to be written in the same hand.
Okay, I will make notes.
The other one is a collection of theories on the existence of the gods.
I bet your Casta was into those.
Yeah, she would secretly read them, like, in her cot with, like, a tiny little flame, because she just wanted so badly to know.
Oh, cool.
I will read you the prescripts. Each one has kind of commentary in the margins, and just kind of a summary at the beginning. The main theories that you find are that the gods of light and the gods of dark went to war, used mortals as their instruments, and then eventually took their war somewhere else and just kind of forgot about us.
And do you have stuff you can send me? The stuff
Oh, I can send you, like, I have these written out. I'm happy to read them to you guys. It's 5 pages. So
I'm ready, go.
If you guys want to hear it, I'm happy to read it to you. Otherwise, I can just email it.
Yeah, you want to just email it to me, and I'll just kind of disperse it to people as I talk through it.
Sure.
Yeah.
The other one is the gods never existed. There are powerful.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that train of thought. Surely.
There are powerful beings. They're not actually gods. The gods are largely just a way of explaining away the extraordinary abilities of people way back when, which weren't really any more extraordinary than our abilities now. We just like to glorify our past. The gods abandon us due to our iniquities, and they will only return when we're worthy again.
Right.
The gods fell asleep, and they'll wake up someday. They can't be gone because we still exist, and without them, we would just cease to be.
Did you say Sunday or someday?
Someday.
Okay, because for some reason I heard the gods fell asleep and they'll wake up Sunday, and I was like, there's a metaphor somewhere.
Looking at my calendar, I don't see any Sundays.
Yeah, like, what is a Sunday?
It's gonna be a while. Weird, almost Revelation-esque excerpt from a work called The War of the Gods by an unknown author. It's a little bizarre.
Okay. Totally into it.
And then another one that basically argues that the presence or absence of gods is entirely irrelevant. The real question is, how do we create new ones? And an analytical essay on basically why it is our actual moral imperative to create new ones.
Interesting.
Nice. So I have all of those written out. So
send those to me.
I will happily send those to you. So
the other thing I would do, just real quick, I don't want to take any time with it, is just make sure that spiral does indeed scar. I will keep worrying at it.
Keep worrying at it. It never heals.
Okay.
Every day, I mean, even just flexing your arm, it opens up and continues to weep.
Perfect.
Kind of a clear, reddish liquid. You continue to work at it.
Yeah. And then I would just spend the end of every day basically in meditation and prayer. Just
Give me a wisdom check.
Okay. Because those are really good for me. That's a 9.
A 9?
Yep.
You get the sense that you hear whispers, you can't quite make them out. But you get a sense of, wait.
Got nothing else to do.
Coming.
Okay. Sweet.
Did you have one more thing to do?
Okay. Oh, I had a rules question.
Yes.
So if I reach level 4, when does the actual modifier change?
Okay. We'll get into that.
That was a quick question.
Now. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break right here. We will be back in 10 minutes. We'll go ahead and level up to 4. And when we come back, it'll be 9 days later, and we'll find out how much worse it can get. So,
or better.
Have a lovely 10 minutes, because that's when we'll be back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Just dark vision.
When we left off, you had just finished your 1 week, your 9 days of downtime spent partially doing the things that the monks told you to do, and partially
Not
working on your spells, working on your ability to affect the world with your just raw will, as music seems to have failed you. And our dear Vera is taking a level of monk.
So excited. One more technical question. I'm
Yes.
so sorry. On that
didn't hit points.
unarmed attack, what is the attack bonus?
Your dexterity plus your proficiency bonus.
Dang, so it still is a +5.
Yeah. So we got a monk rogue.
When you go
on
nuts
our
on the
hands
decks,
here.
you can just own people. That was the best
working
part.
The
on
two
it.
of you. Yeah.
We didn't do hit points.
Oh, dang. We
does
did not
anybody
do
wanna
hit
roll?
points.
Yep.
Nope.
Okay.
Can I just take
So
an
are
average?
you rolling
'cause I'm
too?
chicken?
Reroll ones or twos, and then you can blindly choose to take your roll or mine. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna take yours.
Mine was a 3.
Shit. I should take mine.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 4.
Okay, so it's 3 plus your Constitution modifier.
Okay.
You're rolling
I
as
just
well.
rolled.
Okay. D8.
Oh, D8?
Yeah, for monks.
Oh, dang.
It's the same for monks and rogues.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
I only
rolling
roll a
6.
d6 because I'm a squishy wizard.
Oh, little
Okay.
squish. Hang
Are
on a
you
second.
rolling or taking the
I don't
average?
roll anymore.
Where's my D8?
Fair point.
Yeah. But I have a question.
Yes.
I'm at 30.
Do I do it a D8 or a D6?
You're taking a 6. It's a
Okay.
D6. Yeah. So it's a 4 plus your Constitution modifier.
Yeah.
Did you... Wait.
I've rolled.
What... Okay. Did you roll D8?
Re-roll 1s and 2s.
Okay, I'm going to take yours.
You're going to take mine? I rolled a 4.
Good. It's better than mine.
Okay. So it's 4 plus
That
your
was obvious.
plus your Constitution modifier.
Plus my con mod?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Which is a 0.
Okay, so your maximum hit points increases by 4. All right.
It's better than nothing.
You two
Mm-hmm.
are put through a regimen. The next day you practice your meditation and your breathing, and you nearly freeze to death in that open courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
The day after that, you are told to put up these massive poles, probably about 6 inches in diameter, about 10 feet tall, and you are told to just kind of line them up, and they're heavy, and it's difficult, and it's freezing out here. And once you've set up about 15 of them, you have to scramble up to the top of the first one, and it falls over, and you have to set it back up again and try to get back to the... Takes you 7, 8, 9 tries before you can finally stand on the top, where there's not enough room for both feet, so you basically have to stand
Crane
there.
pose.
And the monk who is there with you says, "Good. Now stand."
God,
And
what
you're there,
is wrong?
and you're there for an hour. There's just a line of poles in front of you, about 6 feet apart, and you're there for 2 hours. You're there for 3 hours.
Please tell me you think that this is as much BS as I think it is.
And you're there for 5 hours.
Is Vera around?
No.
Then yes, I do.
7 hours.
God, thank you. That's going
I mean,
And every time you lose balance and fall, you have to put it back up again. And by the middle of the day, actually, you guys are exhausted. He says, "Good. Now put them away." And he walks off. You guys have to take your 15 poles and just kind of drag them back into the temple and stack them. The next day, yes.
One more thing. Incidentally, I'm staying out of Cormier's way wherever he happens to be. I stay out of his way all the time.
That's
as
He
much
found
as
the
possible.
he found the brewery,
Okay.
Ooh, that was another thing I was going to mention. Sorry.
and he's working hard on his class down there.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yes. Because I was going to question if he did find it.
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise, I would be trying to wean him off of it. Unsuccessfully.
How?
If he hadn't found it,
Oh, if he hadn't found it,
then
I see.
would
Gotcha.
be the
Okay.
source.
On the 4th day, you guys are given those bands, and forced to do kata, and it's really difficult and a mess. And then one day, on the 5th day, you are told to collect the gifts,
What?
and you are led down to a chamber deep beneath the island where the surf seems to travel from somewhere outside, and every once in a while it just explodes like a geyser, hurling.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
Warning! Warning!
Warning.
Danger,
Not
Will
Will
Robinson! Hey!
That is probably copyright.
And you guys spend a while dragging large fish and strange sea creatures out of the
But
surf.
the point of
faces.
interest here is
Yes.
that there's another way down to the shoreline.
Waterline. Yep.
In the chamber, there's just a pool. And based on kind of the water shooting into the room, you imagine that somewhere down in that pool, there's a tunnel that eventually gets out to the sea. Which you're certainly welcome to try and swim.
Excellent. Okay.
Oh, I'm
Are you
sorry, I
trying?
didn't tell them
Not
that.
yet.
Okay.
I should have told them.
As you guys are doing that, one of you roll me just a d10.
It ain't
do?
me. I've
Go
been
ahead.
rolling like literal crap.
10.
10. Okay.
See?
And we
That's why I let her
survive
roll.
another day.
That's why I let
No,
her roll.
I just rolled an encounter, you guys.
Oh, dang.
This happened to me 2
Is
weeks
that an
ago now,
island?
and I rolled a 12
Or
on a
is
d12, and then we got attacked by swarms of skeletons.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
trust him anymore.
2 people's
Did I
legs
ever
got cut
trust
off.
him?
It was awful.
Did I ever trust him?
No.
Have you ever trusted Josh in your
No,
entire life?
No.
Clearly, I shouldn't have. But he let me be a monk, and I've always wanted to be a monk.
And he gave me my spell book back. Thank you,
He
Josh.
was a nerd.
Ooh, can I use my little me? Wait,
not
I'm
there.
not there.
You're not here.
Oh, boo.
I really like using my mini.
What about the other one, Josh?
What about what other what?
Well, the other book I read, too. Do you have that one, too, or is it just the Theories of the Gods? Sorry.
No, the other book was the one
Oh,
on the Northern Alliance.
Okay.
Good. Okay. As you guys are collecting these horrible, stinking, scaly things that get hurled up here, you guys live on the ocean. You know most of the typical wildlife. You've never seen some of these before. Just these bizarre fish and these massive mollusk-like crustaceans. And you're just told to take them and just kind of chuck them onto the pile nearest to the door in the mushroom room. And you also get to see these massive heaps of just dead bodies. Some of them humanoid, most of them various sea wildlife. And you just kind of drag these things on there and throw them up. But one day, I'm sorry, the same day, it's only one day that you're doing this, you guys are dragging it, and a couple hours in, you hear, "Hey, Hey, can I get some help?
Okay, point of order. Vera, did you tell us about that?
See, I would. I never
not.
said I did, but I would have.
There's not been a lot of time for you guys to actually spend time with each other.
I've been monkeying.
Nope.
Monkey.
I'm just
Sorry,
noping.
guys.
Nope.
Good.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Almanya, who in the past is usually like,
Yeah,
you
no,
know, let's go help out, is just like,
out.
no, I'm not doing it. Nope, screw this shit.
Nope.
Screw this.
And she just keeps dragging things.
Amanya,
No.
but what if it's someone who's abandoned, just like we were?
We were abandoned from a boat onto an island.
Look,
this is like,
but
nope.
Maybe.
I need help.
If there was,
towards the
oh my
voice.
god,
Take off towards the voice.
It's
So I was
metagaming if
laughing.
I
No,
know.
you're good.
Okay, Almanya books it.
Not
towards
Almanya.
I'm not Amanya.
I'm sorry. Talia books it towards the shelf. You just keep dragging your giant ass fish towards the entrance.
Not doing it.
Is that a giant ass fish?
And you look over the edge and you don't see anybody
no
at all.
person?
And then the surf just erupts and 3 just wide-mouthed, toothy eels,
Run like
kind of
flippant wave.
narrow humanoid upper body, and then just this long eel tail
Oh, that's some hedge magic shit.
leap out of the surf and start grabbing you.
Conclusion. I just
Okay,
ran.
these are the closest
Magic shit.
things that I could find.
Nice. Are those what are they? Are those the one they start with like a D and they're nasty?
What?
This is the D&D equivalent of a Grindelow.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Where are all my D20s? Okay.
All I can think of is Grindelwald.
And they're all gonna. Oh, they're there.
Oh, can I roll new divination rolls?
Yes.
because
This
it's a different
is a
day?
different day.
Thank you.
Grindygots.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
dang.
A 16 and a 17.
They're good.
Alrighty. They're all 3 gonna try and grab you.
Okay.
Run like the wind.
Dirty 20. Dirty 18?
It's a dirty 18.
Natural 21. No, shit. Wait.
Natural 0.
It's happening again.
I keep rolling zeros on my strength stuff.
16, 18, and 7.
Use those
I
rolls.
will shield, and then the 16 won't hit.
Okay, so one of them hits.
2 of them hit.
Oh, 2 of them hit. So
Wait,
you are considered
You said
grappled.
a 7,
A 17, and 18, and a 7.
Oh, dang.
Is that what I said?
no, you said there was a 16 in there somewhere.
Oops. A 16, a 17, and a 7.
Okay, then yeah, one
hits.
One hits?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are grappled by that one.
Okay.
And they have multi-attacks, so they're all then going to try and claw you.
Do I get an initiative roll to?
An 8, an 18, and a
Go
19.
deep into your sword and find your good self.
The 8
And see
doesn't
who
hit.
you are.
So 2 of those hit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You need your food.
Yeah, go for it. Please. That's what it's there for.
Here for the munchies.
Mm-hmm.
The amanamanams.
Nom nom.
Amanamanaga.
You take 13 points of slashing damage,
Pentagon.
and you are considered restrained.
Okay.
Which means your attack rolls have disadvantage and their attack rolls have advantage.
Is this like a... How do I get out of this thing? Is it like a...
Restraint?
There's an escape DC, so you would have to use your action to try and break it.
Okay.
Now there's an initiative roll.
Okay.
Am I in initiative too?
no.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, you're in the room. You can see she's in a lot of trouble.
I'm like,
What'd you roll?
10.
10? Almanya?
oh, sorry, 17.
Okay. Almanya, you're first.
Oh my god. Okay.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
She's
I
about
look
to
pretty
get
bad.
she's about to get shredded.
The thing is, I don't care.
He's worried.
Oh no.
Amanya, we were best friends. We bonded over the library and little siblings. Come on.
I know. Look, this isn't my fault.
I know it's not
Vague
your fault.
vague
I love you,
memories of the past. She's probably your best way off this place.
Fine. Okay. Now that I have incentive.
Almanya,
worrying me, Mary.
Almanya, Talia, as you kind of go, Almanya, help! She looks at you, she's just like, but
fish.
Fine. Drops the fish she's carrying.
Oh, we're going to talk about that later.
Good. I feel like this is a good moment to say, I too don't like what I'm doing. This is a really good moment for me. I also don't want to be doing what I'm doing.
I'm just quoting John Mulaney on like every other thing I'm saying.
It's a good one. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to cast Burning Hands and try to avoid Sophia.
Okay. So you'll have to get closer.
That's
it's a
fine.
15-foot cone, right?
Yeah.
So
You can go around the side.
you could hit 2 of them without hitting her.
So
Dex save?
Yep.
Did your DC go up?
I gotta check.
Because if your charisma modifier did, it did go up.
16 and a 10.
16 saves, 10 does not.
Okay.
Okay, so
insert vampire laugh here. Yeah.
Is that 2d8 or 3d8?
It's 3d6.
Oh, 3d6. Okay.
Oh, it's a good job. So now she doesn't have any hair. Oh, I know. So sad.
The one who failed takes 13. The one who saves takes 6.
Nice. Okay.
How are they looking?
13 and
Stupid
6.
eel people.
Okay. One of them is the one that took the full brunt of it is below half. The other one's looking okay.
Okay.
And then one of them is untouched.
All right. That's all I can do, I think.
Okay. Their turn.
I think.
2 of the ones that were attacking Talia, the 2 that you hit with the fire, kind of, and they launch themselves
I'm sorry,
towards
Joshua,
you.
they what?
Thank you.
They can move exactly 10 feet on land, so they're both going to come at you here. You hit the 2 that were grappled on her, right?
Yes.
And only 2 of them were grappled on you?
Yep. I don't know.
Okay, so they have released their restrained and are going after her. So 4 attacks, 2 bite attacks. That's 14 and a 19.
Both hit. No, a 14 and a 19?
14 and a 19. I think your armor class should be 12 because you're still
12s,
in monks.
yes.
Okay, so 2 hits and then 2 claw attacks. Double 2s.
Nice.
So 5s.
They suck.
They really do.
Good, I put my curse of my dice jug. The red ones don't work anymore. Don't use them.
So you take
No, make him keep using them.
Yeah, use the red ones. The red ones suck.
and double 1s.
I told you the red ones suck. See? Don't you? Wait, use red.
So you take 4 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
But they missed with the claws, so you were not restrained. Jesus. Okay.
Actually, they suck.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
And one of them is going to attack you, Talia.
Okay.
10.
Nope.
Okay. Talia, your turn.
Curse of the
I'm sorry, 2
dice
attacks.
jug.
Claw attack.
Curse.
7.
Cool. Sweet.
Curse.
Okay, I'm
It's
not.
working.
I'm
They did
not,
really well on the first salvo.
It's working.
Yes.
I'm not restrained anymore.
You are not restrained
Cool.
Or grappled?
or grappled.
Dang. Run.
Well, I see the fire is working on them. With what Almania's doing.
Yep.
So I will.
Look, I'm John Rhys Davies in an Indiana Jones film. Run.
Run.
I will. I will firebolt. To the tune of a 22. That hits, I assume.
Oh, you're chucking your 17 at it.
No, my 16.
Your 16?
My
Okay, yeah.
spell
that
attack
hits.
just went up.
That hits.
Sure. Hey, wait, does
Which one are you attacking? The more hurt one, the less hurt one, or the not hurt one?
the not hurt one?
Oh, you said it that way.
The one that was just the one that's closest to me over here.
Okay.
Does that go up? Does the firebolt damage increase at this point?
I
at
think it
level
increases
4?
at 7th level.
Let me see.
Back to being
5th level. Okay.
At 5th level?
Yep.
So not quite. So it's a 1d10.
Just 1 point.
We have a metagaming goat
Oh
now.
dear. Okay.
We've got metagaming
It kind of
goats.
and sizzles against its skin, but the skin is still wet, so it doesn't seem to take too much damage. Almania, you're up. There is two of them. There are two of them, and they're biting and slashing at you.
Great, I'm burning hands them again.
Okay.
And I need them to make saves.
The more hurt one rolls a 7. And the less hurt one
have my curse.
Rolls a 13.
Have my curse.
They're both going to take full damage then.
It worked. Grace's curse.
Keep in mind you can always spend a sorcery point.
I can. Well, no, I don't have that meta magic.
Yet.
That's an empowered spell. It's a different meta magic option.
Monks are kind of 15. Oh, sorry. They're both going to take 12 damage.
12 damage.
Sorry.
Okay. One of them kind of shrivels up, and steam goes hissing out, and it goes. And it's now just
sorry,
this.
I'm sorry.
You shut up.
What does it do?
So
my kids just made me do that.
One of them just shrivels up and blackens and just starts kind of melting into the rock. You can see bits and pieces of its skin are just seared to it. The other one is looking real bad.
Okay. Let me check something real quick.
Okay.
Just real fast. Just quick. I want it to make a dex save.
14?
Succeeds, but he still is going to take some lightning damage. I'm breathing lightning on him.
Oh, gotcha. I was
She's
like,
breathing on him.
What are you doing with a bonus action?
Using
3 more
her
points
morning breath on him.
of lightning damage.
3? Okay.
Is he looking?
There
Is he dead?
He's not dead. Looking super rough.
Okay.
Interesting point. There are eels in water, and there's lightning.
They're out of
hitting
the
them.
water.
But they
No,
are wet.
but what I'm saying is eels generally are
moist.
They do not have vulnerability to.
No, I was
lightning.
thinking that eels actually have resistance to lightning.
Oh, gotcha. They also don't have resistance
Oh,
to
cool.
But
They're not electric eels.
Yeah.
soggy.
it. They do not have vulnerability to lightning, and they are not in water right now.
But they are
Their turn.
soggy.
Talia, 2 attacks against you. I'm sorry. Yes, Talia, 2 attacks against you. Bite attack. 16.
Shield.
Okay. Claw attack. Alright, pain. Okay. Almania, 2 attacks against you.
Curse
Bite
on this
attack.
dice is working.
18.
Hits.
Claw attack. 9.
Does not.
You take... I'm going to stop rolling the red ones.
Please
You
do.
take 2 points of piercing damage. Those are the only d6s I have.
And I suck.
They really do. They've rolled 3 ones in a row.
It's because
In
the
a-
curse
in a
of the
row.
red dice has passed from me to you.
Okay. Almania.
It's me again?
Yeah.
No,
Oh my gosh.
I didn't get a turn.
No, she didn't get it. No, you did.
No, I go
Oh, no, I'm
after
sorry.
the eels.
Yeah, they go.
Oh,
you
sorry.
go right after them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, Talia.
I'm gonna... Let's see. One that I hit didn't do a lot of damage with there.
So this one is on its last legs,
Okay.
and that one has not been touched
It
yet.
doesn't have any legs.
It does not have legs,
Wait, and one of them is dead?
and one is dead. So there's only 2 left.
Well, Almania can handle the one that's almost, like, dead.
Okay. You've got your hands in front of you, and it's just wailing on this shield, and
Oh,
these
yeah, no, that
blue
needs to
concentric
go away.
circles are spreading across the air in front of you.
Yeah, he can... I'll take a leaf out of Almania's book, and he can roll a dex save.
13.
He fails. How many d6 is burning
powers
hands?
3d6 for
3d6.
burning hands.
3d6.
Okay, and then Almania, what are you doing to yours?
I'm going to cast Chill Touch, the cantrip.
I think that's an attack roll, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So
It's
go ahead
a
and roll
melee
that one.
attack.
Is it a ranged attack?
It's melee
It
attack.
is. Well, it's... So, yes, it can be... It is a range of 120 feet.
Okay,
Right.
if it is a ranged spell roll, tell me what kind of roll are you making
Ranged
for
spell attack.
it? Ranged, then you'll have disadvantage because you're right next to it.
Okay.
Okay.
7
7 points of damage. Okay. Almania?
Die.
13.
Just hits.
Dang. Nice.
Alrighty.
10 points of necrotic damage.
Jesus. Okay, so the
Going
first
die.
one is blackened and seared to the stone around it. Kind of like a slug when you put a whole bunch of salt on it. It just kind of like melts and then sticks. This one...
I have never done that. Just to be clear.
I have done that, but I had
I've
bad
definitely done
influences.
that.
I would say
So
to an innocent
Long time ago.
slug?
I knew him back in those days.
Slugs are kind of
I never
You
did,
did,
it again.
actually.
We were neighbors.
Yep.
Is Grace the only one at this table who has never murdered a slug?
I have never murdered a slug. I swear.
I just wanted to clarify.
There is
I have
no
eaten a lot
law
of grass.
against killing slugs, and therefore it is not murder.
And in my defense, the slugs in Oregon, where my aunt lives, are literally the size of mice.
They are
still-
huge.
By most considerations, I was not yet morally culpable.
True.
He also used
Same.
to sit on the roof to take phone calls.
Mary. I'm sorry,
Take first
Elmania.
communion at the age of what, like 7?
Can I keep trying to kill you guys?
Fine.
Elmania, I'm sorry.
The Catholic coming out.
This one, you point your hand out at it, and this glowing, ghostly hand just kind of grabs its skull, jams its fingers into its eye sockets, and black veins just spread
Nice.
across the whole thing, and it just falls to the ground.
Sweet.
How's mine look?
It's doing fine, and it's going to attack you twice.
Dang.
Cool.
How you looking?
Bite attack. Natural 20.
Okay.
Claw attack.
No.
12?
Nope.
Because it's the beginning of your next turn. When
Oh,
no,
I
but-
have lost shield.
Yeah, so it is 12. So what's your dexterity modifier?
I don't wear armor anyway, so my
Right.
armor class is always 12.
12? Okay, so second one hits. So you take 6 plus 6. So you take 12 points of piercing damage, and then
I'm out.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's conceivable the other one doesn't throw me out. Try again. Sorry.
So
12.
So you take 12. Are you still up?
Yeah, that puts me at 27 and I have 30. So I have 3 hit points.
Okay, well that's important because it
Okay.
then hits you again,
Yeah.
and you would be failing 2 death saves. Second one does. You take another 12 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, I'm totally out.
Okay, so you are down.
Yep.
Down but not dead.
Elmania.
Yeah.
You watch as this thing just kind of clamps its jaws down on her arm and then just starts shredding her arm. You can see that spiral blood pattern on her arm is just glowing.
I thought my long sleeves covered it up.
It is shining through her long sleeves.
Oh, it's like my
Your
star in a
sleeve
jar.
has been wrapped up in the
Where it's like
Yeah.
everything except for metal.
So what are you doing?
How bad is the guy looking?
It's very interesting.
Okay. Has definitely taken some damage.
Okay.
What did you hit it with? Burning hands? Yeah. So you can see where patches of its skin are dried and blackened.
Flame him.
It looks unhappy.
Yeah, can I flame him without hitting her?
Is it a cone or?
It's a cone.
It is a cone. Yeah, you can angle it up. So yeah,
Sure,
dex
I'll do
save. That. 15.
That just succeeds.
Okay.
He's still going to take 4 points of fire damage.
Fire damage. Okay. Anything else?
I don't think I have any more bonus actions
Okay.
that I can use.
Okay. Make a morale check.
For your one guy.
Oh, okay. He's coming at you.
He's coming at me?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm
Flamed
dead,
it.
man.
Yeah, I mean, she's
dead.
incapacitated, and you're
Not
chucking
dead.
fire at it, so he's
Sweet,
going to come
okay.
try to eat you. Claw attack. Or bite attack, I mean. 4.
Fail.
Claw attack. 4.
Fail.
My curse on your dice remains.
Where was it
Yeah.
with my natural 20?
Your
Sorry,
turn.
my curse failed for a moment. I wasn't concentrating.
Jesus.
I'm working my witchcraft now.
God, these things are hideous.
This is why Vera booked it.
I'm gonna do
The
burning
minute
hands
she
again.
saw
I'm just gonna
one.
freaking
Yeah.
keep
Yeah, I
burning.
get
Go ahead.
disengage as a bonus action, lady.
I know.
Natural 1.
My curse is still there. Nope.
I cut it in a box.
11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. It is barely standing. Bite attack. 19.
Hit.
Claw attack. 8.
Does not.
You take 5 points of piercing damage.
Just turn the
Great.
box upside
Your
down.
turn, it's basically dead. In fact, it's going to use its movement to try to run.
That means I get an attack of
You do get an
opportunity.
attack of opportunity.
Great. I'm gonna use
With-
acid splash.
You cannot
Can't
cast a
use a
spell.
spell.
Oh.
You're basically going to try
You have
to
to have
punch
a
it.
feat for that.
Great. I'll punch it.
Okay, roll a melee attack roll. It's just a plus your strength mod.
That's not great. That's a 6.
6. Okay, you swing at it and you just kind of punch into its slimy hide, but it manages to just kind of slip back into the water and disappears.
I mean, it's still only 30 feet away from me, right? Technically.
What's 30 feet away from you?
That guy, because he can only move 30 feet away from me.
No, he can move 10 feet. So he goes, actually 1, 2, so he's right on the shore.
Great. I'm gonna cast Acid Splash. I need him to make a Dex saving throw.
Fail.
19.
Dang. Succeeds.
Sorry, did we pass
takes
my
nothing?
turn?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
death save.
Should've
I'm
rolled.
sorry.
Yeah.
That's a fail.
Fail? Okay, you're up.
Oh, sweet. I still get to...
Yeah, no, he's gone. Combat is over. Slips into the water and you don't see it again.
Meh. We let him.
I don't know what to save her with.
Do I need to roll another one?
In order to stabilize somebody, it's just a medicine check.
Okay, I'll make a medicine check.
Okay, DC 10 medicine check.
Ooh, that's an 18.
18. Okay, you walk over.
Sweet.
Kind of tear off some of her robes, wrap up the wounds, kind of smack her in the face.
You awake? You alive?
Splash
You
some seawater on her face.
semi-enthusiastic? Okay,
Talia, you wake up.
Okay.
You're still right next to the water.
Oh.
Last thing you remember is a weird, nasty eel thing clamped down on your arm, just shredding you. Looks like you've been roughly bandaged up.
She's still glowing?
Yeah, is my arm still doing its thing?
Yeah, you look at it and it is still kind of gently pulsing red.
Hey, next time I say that we should not go to the things that are crying for help in the middle of a dank, dark cave near the water.
we were supposed to save someone!
No! We were not! We got attacked by things mimicking!
That's probably what attacked him!
No!
Did we
You do not
hear it
understand.
mimic?
No!
Not while it was attacking you, no.
No, these are things that will do that to confuse you. So that you will go and try and help people because you're so kind. And then they will kill you and murder you and drag you down to the depths of the ocean. That's what happens.
How do you know that?
Because I have a lot of life experience.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I don't know a whole lot about it. It's a little fuzzy right now because I died. So let's go back upstairs and not die anymore. How does that sound?
Are you sure that whoever we were supposed to save is already...
There is no one to save. Look, call out. Go ahead. Say, hi, is there anybody there?
I do that.
Okay. Yeah. Nobody responds.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's go. I'm just gonna go back, grab whatever it was that I was carrying before, and just head
You
up to
guys
the surface.
finish collecting the gifts. And you drag them, chuck them onto the piles of the dead.
How long does it take for my arm to stop?
Glowy,
Or is
glowy.
it still...
About 5 minutes later, it's done. The next day is the pulls again. You have to lug up 15 of them, set them up, climb up, stand on one, fall, set it up again, stand.
I start to invent a song.
Can
it's
we-
called I Hate This Island.
Okay.
There is no musical talent
Yep,
in
you
this
stand
song.
on there on one leg, singing "I Hate This Island."
There is none of Almania's
Do we get to increase our
musical
strength at
abilities.
least for all this working out that we're doing?
No.
I need
Come on.
Dex.
But the next day, it's the pulls again. The next day, oh, thank God, it's the weaving again. You get halfway through, though, and it's just like, this is almost worse than the pulls. On the last day, not the last day, but on the last day of the week, you practice meditation again.
Freeze.
And breathing again, and you almost freeze to death again. Meanwhile, Vera, you are subjected to none of this.
Vera's having a grand time.
Sorry, guys.
You sit with an elderly monk.
Is he older than me?
Yes. Well, actually,
That's impressive.
it's a human.
No, he ain't older than me.
Probably isn't older than you. Looks older than you. Who just gently instructs you. You sit. You sit. She figured it out. You sit cross-legged, eyes closed, as he sits just directly across from you. A wall is a blindfold placed on the self. True, nothing enters your eyes. But that which can be seen is not that which kills the spirit.
Where do you find this stuff?
In his weird philosophical brain.
The world will do as it will, and die as it must. We have removed ourselves from the cycle, for the purpose of preparing for the real struggle. Suffering comes from outside. Peace is found within through calm, meditation, mindfulness. Peace is in not being, and only in peace can one truly be. Thank you, Mary. All beings are born neutral. It is only in what they experience that shapes them. We exist here alone, and as long as others do not bother us, we do not bother them. Some come to us for guidance, and that is their decision, but we do not hunt them down. After all, what good are mere words to one who is unwilling to ask the question? Hope is the source of your pain. Release it, and you will be at peace. Over and over again. And each of these you are told to repeat. Over and over and over again. They just become these mantras. Do you repeat them? Following the guidance.
I will repeat them.
Okay, go ahead and roll a wisdom check. What do you think about as you repeat these?
There are things I agree wholeheartedly with the idea of pain is external, and it's only what's outside that you can control what is inside, not what is outside. You can just simply endure what is outside. The letting go of hope thing is difficult.
Okay.
But I'll say it.
So roll a wisdom check.
16.
16, okay. Some of them you accept, some of them you reject, but you repeat the words over and over and over again, and eventually the words lose their meaning. You are saying them, you forget what they even mean. And as you repeat them, you come close to kind of forgetting, losing all sense of self, and then you kind of snap back, and you remember who you are. But sometimes you just kind of drift. And when you drift, you hear dice. Over and over and over again. You snap back and the dice are gone. And then you repeat the mantra over and over and over again, and you start forgetting that you're cold. And you forget about the stone that you're sitting on. And you forget about your friends and your quest, and you hear the dice over and over again. Cast after cast after cast. And that's basically what you spend all of your not downtime doing.
Is there ever a moment of clarity, shall we say, where I hear the dice and just go, yes?
The moment you stop thinking about what you are saying, a voice goes, repeat it. Do not stop. And the dice kind of go away, and you're snapped back, and then you keep repeating the mantra. Okay. You spend a very peaceful week. It's hard. You are sitting there for hours. It is difficult to forget the needs of your body. But you do. And then as you kind of come back, suddenly you need to go find some chamber pots. But otherwise, you are not subjected to the grueling exercises that your companions are. And Morthus and Cormyr are in there as well. They're setting up poles. They're doing all kinds of things. And by Cormyr setting up poles, I mean he kind of puts one up and leans against it for support, and it falls over, and he kind of picks it back up again and flips over on the other side. He's having a good rough time. You lose track of the days until at one point You hear the voice. Stop. Stand up. You kind of open your eyes. You stand up, and the monk is standing in front of you. You should not leave. But the time has come for you to go. And he just walks away. Doesn't say anything else. Talia, you return to your bunk kind of towards the end of that day.
Which day?
I'm sorry, the 9th day. So you're done with your week. What do you do kind of before you collapse from exhaustion today?
Well, everything I do, what I've done every night before I've retired for quite a while now. Yeah. Is I will sit and meditate and pray.
Okay. You still carving at the
No, I don't want to carve at it. I just wanted to make sure that it's scarred and left a mark. That's all that I.
It is really not healing into a scar. It is not scarring over. It is not scabbing over. It is just kind of constantly.
But it's not like getting infected or doing anything.
No, just kind of constantly weeping this clear liquid with just swirls of blood.
So much blood loss that she collapses halfway through the week.
Yeah. It's it's not pouring blood. Yeah. It's just kind of, it's weeping.
Infected and gross.
As you meditate and you pray, you feel a hand on your shoulder. Just initial reaction is, fucking monks.
What now?
Just exhausted. And you hear a voice that you have never heard before, and it's this deep, smooth baritone. There you are. Good.
What?
Child, it is time to go. You kind of open your eyes, and standing in front of you is a very simply dressed half-orc man. Kind of long, what was black hair, but you can kind of see threads of gray through it. Yeah.
What's he wearing?
I'm getting there. Jesus.
Give it a second.
Standing there, wearing these, what looks like just a very simple tunic, and then just these long red vestments running down. He is barefoot. You can see the hem of the robe is kind of dirty and tattered. And that's mostly all he's wearing. And he's just standing there with a hand on your shoulder and a kindly look on his face.
Who are you?
I am the answer to your prayers. Gather your friends, gather your things. The lady has declared it time to leave.
My lady?
Of course.
Are you, and who is my lady?
The Lady of Hope. The last one this world has.
Is he wearing a symbol?
He is not.
Do I sense that he's a trustworthy sort of fellow?
Roll an insight check.
Thank you.
Just like, please.
Put it
you
in
trust
jail.
Everybody.
Jail.
You just trust
Well, it's a 10.
Jail.
Okay. You have known harsh masters. You have known grueling but indifferent masters. The monks are very strange in their discipline. This is the first kind face you've seen
so
in months.
long.
And the hand on your shoulder is warm.
All right.
Absolutely.
Do you have a ship?
Gather your friends.
Will they be able to see you?
Of course.
Are you a hallucination? Am I going mad? Are you a ghost?
I'm sorry, just a lot of things have happened to me on this island, and a lot of things have happened to me in my life in general. What's your name? Please?
Actually.
That's me every time someone asks you for a name in a game. I always go,
this whole conversation I've been desperately trying to be like...
I was like, yeah, I totally have a name. I totally have a name. Where's the name?
I know your name, child. The lady has spoken it to me. I am Hemotarch Destin.
What? Hallmark Todd Destin.
Hallmark?
All right. That's lovely. Can you say it one more time? I'm sorry.
Hemotarch Destin.
Hemotarch Destin. Okay. Sweet. Thank you. Well, do I call you
Destin?
What do you like to be called?
Destin.
Destin? All right. Brother Destin.
Servant of the lady.
I'm used to the monks at this time referring to each other as brother and sister all the time, right?
So, nope, definitely.
Brother Destin. Excellent. Come, let me find my friends. Will you walk with me?
Of course.
You can tell me all about everything you know. It's been a long time since I've been able to talk to people who actually talk and not in platitudes.
We can talk when we have arrived at home.
Where's home? You taking me back to Anishar?
I am taking you home. The place that you
My home or the lady's home?
It is all the same.
Eternity. Okay.
Good place.
So he walks with you as you round everybody up. Talia comes to you in your little hut. This one has not yet been burnt down.
Are we sure about that?
You guys have
She's thinking about it.
over the course of the week, you've noticed that the hut that has burnt down, kind of the foundations are still there and most of the floor. The monks still go there and sleep.
The roof is just
I feel
decoration.
really sad about that. I had nothing to do with it.
Talia comes to you all excited, and there's a kindly-looking man
he's gonna take us home.
That sounds absolutely like total bullshit.
Half-orc gentleman, long, stately-looking, graying hair, simple white tunic with these kind of red vestments.
He sounds
very
like
simple
a
rope
mercenary,
tied at the waist.
a narc.
I just will whisper to Almanya really quick. You can actually see him, right?
Can I see him?
You can.
Okay.
And I'm going to whisper
And
back,
he's looking at you with such kindness that it pisses you the fuck off.
yeah, yeah, okay. Tilly, oh yeah, he's either a mercenary sent to kill us, a complete narc who's going to rat us out to Sam Valheim.
What's a narc?
God, you're so innocent. Okay.
Coming from Almanya, that's a weird statement.
Yeah, no, Almanya's been really weird this whole time.
Or he's some crazy cult leader. And I'm not into either joining a cult, being murdered, or like being in prison.
No, shush. Shush.
The last time you told me to do something, you almost died. Remember? Like literally 2 days ago.
This is Brother Destin.
Hi. How are you?
Hello.
Hi.
He serves my lady. I've never met anyone but Lyra that did that.
Who the fuck is your lady?
Oh dear, we have a lot to talk about.
I guess so. I don't know who the hell your lady is.
Wait,
Who's the lady?
Vera.
What the hell are you
Okay.
talking
No,
about?
Vera's here. Like you've all been
Vera.
gathered. Her lady is the means by which you have returned to life.
Yes. Remember the... Oh, no.
What did we do?
Well, perhaps put this
She's still in the library.
Oh, jeez.
Amanu, dear.
Oh,
Would you
perfect.
like
I'll ask
to
him what
get
we're
off
supposed
this
to do.
island?
Yeah.
More than anything.
I believe this young man can assist us.
Great. Are you gonna kill us?
No.
Great. Okay, let's get off this island and then we can ditch it. Okay, sounds like a plan.
Perhaps pause for one moment.
Do you want to get Cormier? Because I'm still trying not to talk to him.
Yes, I will. In fact, young man,
Just go and punch him in the face, I swear.
can perhaps
Nobody
pause?
here knows
I
how to
would
deal with problems.
like to speak to one of my instructors briefly before we go.
Of course. But make it quick, our window is short.
Of course. What are we supposed to do with Lyra?
She
wasn't sure what to do.
She must come along.
Okay. She's in the library.
She's
Of course.
dead.
Her service must be rewarded.
Everyone here is insane. Okay.
Okay. Says Almanya as Talia looks at her like, what?
Okay.
I rustle up Cormier and Morthus.
Okay.
But then I also try and rustle up either Sister Cadmium, whoever I can find first, or my old human instructor.
Roll a investigation check.
The thing about
Okay. You find Cormyr and Morthus. The others.
I find a monk?
You can find a monk.
I find a monk.
You find a monk.
I find a relatively older looking monk.
You go around some of the huts, peeking in. Nope. Nope. Okay, good. You're old.
Yeah. Fred. Does he make eye contact with me?
Yeah, he's looking at you. Just sitting on his cot.
If I leave this place, how do I continue in the path I have begun? Alone.
You have walked the path of lies.
Many times.
There are 2 lies. Do you know what they are?
No.
One we tell herself.
Seek the path of lies.
Oh, that's what she told me to do. Yeah, I didn't do that.
Nobody told me.
What if I like it there?
I'm fine.
Then you will remain there. It is only after the path of lies that the true journey begins.
Thank you. Fred.
Bows deeply.
I'll bow back.
And then continues putting on his robe.
Do you do a deeper bow? Are you doing like a full 90 degrees of respect? The full 90 degrees of utter respect. Just straight down.
Okay. So you round up Cormyr and Morthus.
While she does that, I take him and show him, Brother Destin, where Lyra is.
Okay. She will need to be brought here. And he reaches out his hand, and her body just kind of rises up.
Blood bending.
Slowly moves across. And he just kind of gently takes her out of the air.
I swear this is a mass hallucination. I don't know what's going on. Great.
Now,
pay no attention to my dragonborn friend.
she is so very interesting.
I know. She doesn't mean what she
need
says.
to talk
Now,
about.
sadly, I can only take 5 of you.
Huh?
And Morthus is looking at the body that he's carrying and is just like, I'm staying here.
Good for you.
But Morthus, you have a way out.
Good for you, Morthus.
I'm okay here.
Okay.
Y'all in that body, and her? No. I told you shouldn't trust her.
Morthus, thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I dropped some gold down the crevice. You're welcome to it if you ever can find it.
No, fuck the gold. Look.
Morthus
Sorry,
is my
Mom.
baby. I love him so much.
I'm getting used to it in the company I've been keeping.
This is wrong.
Ouch.
And I don't know who that is.
It's
Points
Brother
at
Destin.
Brother Destin. But this is fucked up.
I mean, I also agree. That
This should not happen. I don't know what she is. But I don't want any more of this. So I'm going to stay here with the weird bald people. And I'll hitch a ride home if that ship ever comes back.
Let Morthus be happy 2020.
Morthus.
But y'all get the hell out of here.
Morthus, I understand. May I give you a piece of advice?
Sure, Ma.
Take the pain.
What?
Whatever they do to you, take it.
Okay.
He's been doing really well on top of the poles.
I like the glowy arms thing. I'm really into that.
Take it. Take it.
All right. You too.
Morthus, thank you so much. Seriously.
Of course. You just be careful, all right?
Absolutely. I'm sorry that you won't be there to save us when we screw ourselves over again.
We'll handle it.
You're welcome to stay here. I'm love to have some company and somebody who will talk straight to me. Just one person.
Well,
I mean, I'd talk straight to you, but I don't think you'd like that.
Not really. No offense, but well, no offense.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather hang out with the goats.
Oh,
Oh.
I pull out one of the candles. I never got a reply to any of my...
You did not.
To my message, by the way.
And the message, like the piece of paper kind of vanished and returned.
Oh, it came back?
Yeah.
Okay. Shoot, I wonder if that means it's a... Would I think that would mean that it's a short... It was too far of a distance?
This is not magic that is familiar to you.
Okay. I take one of the candles. I had 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take one, and I'll give it to Morthus. I don't know if this will work or not, but perhaps you can reach someone. I think there was a problem with mine, but maybe this will work to communicate with Samvalhain should you need to.
Okay. You got it. Morthus walks off.
Morthus needs to come back in and just be like this crazy monk, and it'll be so good. It'll be so good.
Are you prepared?
Yeah, shit, let's go.
Is this alright, Mrs. Mayweather? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Do you want to leave? We haven't really seen much of you lately.
I'll tell you about it later. But yes, I have obligations elsewhere.
Alright.
Are you ready to go home?
Hold hands or something?
No.
Shit, I don't even know where home is at this
Stand
point.
close.
Just click your heels together and say, "There's no place like home."
Spin the circle 3 times.
That is not how it works. He reaches down into his tunic,
Okay.
pulls out some kind of metal object, kind of bows his head, and it kind of flashes, and you all suddenly feel awful.
Nice.
It is this bizarre feeling as if your flesh is being ripped away and regrown and then ripped away just as fast as it can grow. Kind of a rapid fire Prometheus with the kind of the eagle ripping out his liver?
Yeah, the
His
liver.
Yeah, kind of like that, but just all over. It just feels like you are being flayed and then flayed again. And it feels like it lasts an eternity. And then suddenly it stops. And you're on solid ground again, and you kind of look around. And Brother Destin is standing there holding Lyra's wrapped corpse, smiling at you all. And you all look around. You are in a large stone chamber. Where are we here? There it is. Large stone chamber looks to be underground. The walls are kind of natural stone, but the floor is smooth worked flagstones that look an awful lot like it is the identical type of stone as the one on the Shadowed Mount that you just left, just like that courtyard in the temple. And you look around. Off to one side, there's a very large pit with just 2 steps down that descend into sand.
Does this look familiar to me at all?
Nope.
No?
Not I don't even know where all y'all live.
Looks like there are 2 exits. One is a set of stairs that go up. Did I say that you guys are underground?
Yeah.
Looks like you guys are okay. And then there's just a very large door, and you look around, and then you notice skulls and rib cages in just kind of piles off in the corner. And the courtyard, not the courtyard, I'm sorry, that sand pit, you look, there are just, the sand in huge swaths is just stained dark purplish rust. There are bodies in there that looks like they've had their throats slit. They're older. The bodies look partially decomposed, but it's just this horrible mess down there.
I did say we were going to get murdered, right?
I, Jenny, am rethinking my part in this cult.
So, Julia, I don't
said cult leader? Murder?
One bit.
Words are scrawled in some kind of red paste on the floor, on the ceilings, on the wall, just all around, just these chaotic messes.
Can I read them?
Yeah, what do they say?
You guys kind of stand there, stunned. Both of you go ahead and give me a perception check.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Perception?
Yep.
17.
Okay. You, Talia, read, "The Red Queen has risen and flesh shall serve. It's weird. Blood is the only truth. Shed it and be free. My flesh is my own, but my blood belongs to her holiness." Vera, you see words that are actually familiar to you. You have heard them spoken once before. The age has ended, and a new one begun. Desolation is over, and the reign of blood is nigh. Fate has slipped her moorings, and an ascendant walks the land.
I may have created an oopsie.
No.
And pasted...
Sorry, one more time, whatever that was.
Yeah, can you repeat all of
The
that?
age... So, as she reads, Vera, stunned, kind of starts reading these words out loud under her breath, and you hear them. You have never seen them before.
Okay.
You've never heard this before.
This
is
what
weird.
that creeper said
Yeah.
in the passage
You two,
with the knife.
yes. A year ago, at the Dark Fall celebration, a man stood in the center and began crying out these words, announcing...
I knew this would happen.
That's why you do this!
announcing the rise of the goddess of blood.
Yeah, this is why I don't mess with blood magic.
Pasted across
Y'all?
one wall is a symbol that that is familiar to you both. It is kind of that inverted altar in red with just a large red sphere over it and just rays. I'm sorry. They are right. So rays coming from the sun, right? If you were to depict that, right, start very narrow and get wider. These are inverted. They are widest as they touch this inverted altar and then get narrower and narrower as they approach that red sphere. You saw this in that blood temple underneath Anashur on one of your first patrols.
I'm beginning to
Brother
seriously
Destin?
doubt this Destin dude.
Hemotarch Destin.
Hemotarch? His name is flipping Hemotarch?
Yeah.
What's wrong with
It's pronounced Hemotarch, but
like
Hemo is the Greek word
Yeah,
for blood.
yeah,
and
it's not
Tark
like
is the Greek word for ruler.
was wondering if anyone was going to see that.
Blood
Well,
ruler.
all the stuff that Almani's gotten is the Dark King is rising, and we stand at the gate. So, at some point, like, I don't know what's going on.
Dang it, Josh, I'm a Greek teacher.
I know. Time. Hemotarch Destin looks at you all, smiling.
Oh, I hate it so much.
Welcome.
I feel like this is where you get to the Choose Your Own Adventure novel, and you flipped, and you make the wrong decision. You get it says the end at the end. I feel like that's where we are.
Welcome.
That's when I go, there's an undo button.
Welcome to the first home of Soranavi.
Okay.
I'm sorry, of who?
Saran, yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and end there for tonight. Our producer has to drive quite a ways this evening, and it's been a long week. So, we're going to go ahead and end there. Sorry for the short episode. Fun announcement. Next week, I think, we're just going to do Almania's Soul Quest. So we will return to that and just do a whole episode of that, and depending on how that turns out, we might do that for another episode. I'm not sure.
I have no idea if we're going to survive that long.
Otherwise, we will return to the Temple of Soranavi. The goddess of blood.
Oh, no.
That's our dragon lady.
I said narc. I said mercenary. I said cult leader. At least one of those is right. Okay?
All of
Thank
the
you
above.
so much for joining us this evening. We will
It
be
got
back.
worse.
We will be back next week with the continued adventures of Almania's disembodied soul. So,
When you put it like
I'm
that.
excited for that.
join us then. I hope you have a
love Almania.
lovely
She's
week.
wonderful. She's
And yeah, have a good night.
I'm a monk now, y'all.